What is it do you like about Coke?
I love the smell of it.
It's raw. It's raw every goddamn year.
Yes,
Man,
Lord.
Serv-On raw, goddamn it.
Subscribe to Serv-On IT RAW and let's keep it
all the way funky, uncut, raw. Serving it raw just like my boy Gutter Kane.
Yes, Lord. You done tapped in the Serv-On IT RAW podcast where the combo stays so raw, it don't need no cut. I'm your host, Gutter Kane, the Gutter Man. And today's special guest is a true architect of Southern hip-hop movement. One of the original voices that helped define the No Limit Records era. From early collaborations with Master P, TRU, and Mia X to releasing the classic Life Insurance and the chart topping the Next Level. He's built a legacy that bridges independence, entrepreneurship, and the culture. Not only a recording artist, but an actor, an author, and a community figure, playing a role in one of New Orleans' largest gun buyback initiatives and continue to build through his own labels, Lyfetime Entertainment and Hot City Music Group. Servers, help me welcome to the show, Mr. Serv-On. What's going on?
What's happening, man? Oh, man, I'm blessed, man. I appreciate you, man. You know, and one thing I'll say real quick before you move a second. I want you to know something, bro. And I tell rappers this, man. I don't care how big the platform is or whatever, not. Do the interview. And they look at me strange, but I tell them, I say, we got our own black media. Y'all guys should be proud of what y'all doing. Nobody really look at it like that. All y'all that's got podcasts and whatever, especially all my brothers, which was 90%, you know, we finally got our own black media.
Yeah.
Because unless we go to jail or do something crazy, CNN or Fox or any of them, you know, they're not going to worry about interviewing us. You know what I'm saying? Now you guys interview us, man, and we got our own black media when you really look at it. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all guys be proud of what y'all doing. You, all of y'all, man. Y'all don't know y'all contribution. I know sometimes it might look at it where, man, I'm getting the views, I'm making some money, I'm getting numbers, and I'm telling the stories and letting people get, you know, hottest clicks and all that. Nah, y'all much more than that. Y'all our own black media. We have control by us. Y'all all independent, which we dreamed of at No Limit. Everybody own they you know, I don't want to curse, they stuffing, man, and do what they do. But remember that, bro, when you think about sometime, man, I'm tired. Nah, bro. Okay. Y'all our own black media, dog. Y'all everything, man. You know, and carry yourself as such, bro. And I thank you. I definitely thank you.
Look, this is an opportunity, a special opportunity for me. I grew up on your music. Shout out to Big Court with the
man, that's my dog.
Yeah, with the OG network. Serv-On IT RAW is actually on there as well. So yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, and I'm riding with him. So
Big Court, old Court, man. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Court, man, I'm so proud of him, man.
Yeah, I'm riding with him, man. Yeah, he I interviewed him as well, and he doubled back. You know, he circled back and came in. You know, he got my podcast on his platform. You know, shout out to Joker the Bail Bondsman up in Alaska.
Man. I ain't heard from him. I just heard of him in a while, man. Yeah. I think me and him did a song or two. I can't remember. I think we did or something, but yeah, I remember my dude, man. I'm teasing, dog. I'm like, they got rappers in Alaska? You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. Yeah, man. Man, he good people. You holler at him, tell him I say what's happening, man.
Oh, for sure. I will. I'll probably end up talking to him today, matter of fact, because he had a meeting with Rachel Renee and everything and stuff. So they've been, you know, and plus Donald, you know, XL over there too.
Oh man, you family now, bro. You saying that. You know, you calling real names, man.
Yeah, XL over there too, man. So yeah, they doing their thing, and I'm riding with them. But I want to start. Let's start at the root of it all. You know, for people that don't know, where are you from, and how did growing up there shape who you are, not just as an artist, but as a man.
Oh man, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, man. Uptown to be exact. We got to straighten out. I'm from 6 and B, man, 6 and Barone, and some notable people you would know. UNLV. You know, if you know about really Cash Money, 6, you know, UNLV. That was the first. That was the artist that put Cash Money on, man. The person, no disrespect to the rest of them, but they know who brought the checks in first. You know, so from that corner, and then the person that y'all would least expect. And I tell people, try him if you think he's soft. Tyler Perry. Well, he called himself Tyler Perry. You know, he grew up as Junior Emmett Perry. You know what I'm saying? He grew up on that same corner on 6 and B.
Okay.
That's why I tell people, go ahead on, try him. Y'all try to tell about him a day in the dress, and I promise you he gonna put you to sleep. You know what I'm saying? He grew up on the rough corner. You know what I'm saying? We all grew up on that corner, 6 and Barone, and he was on that corner. He wasn't on the corner doing some of the shit we was doing, but he was on that corner, and you had to be a man on that corner.
Already.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's where I'm from, uptown 6 and Barone, man.
Yeah, shout out to the UPT, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now, you go way back. I know you got high school ties with Master P. And so, being one of the first artists in the No Limit movement, before the world caught on, what did you see in that vision early?
Well, first, of course, it was the belief in KLC. And, he believed in me. I believed in him. But what I saw first, I grew up, brother Kevin, God rest his soul. I used to follow P and Kevin to every basketball court, and follow them around playing basketball and whatever. And P always looked out, man, like I was just that little bitty brother, and then me and C, Free Corey Miller, we was best of friends. Okay. And a lot of people don't know my middle name is Corey. His name is Corey. So he used to always be Corey and Corey, you know what I'm saying? So, and back then I believed in everything he was back then because he was one of the best basketball players in the city. And I just wanted to be just like him, you know what I'm saying? With basketball. So when he came, with the music situation, it was like, yeah, man, I got a label. I could do this and do that. But what he showed me, and a lot of artists today kind of believe in that, but what he did was he was like, come check me out, and flew us out to California. When we got there, everything he said was true. He said he flew us out there to do songs. And, when you do illegal stuff, that's illegal money. Mm-hmm. And to get back then, 92, 93, somebody pay you $2,500 per song, $5,000, and it's right by Christmas time. And everything he said what he was going to do, he did it. And for me, my mother, God rest her soul, she knew I went up there and I came back with legal money. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So she was like, that's what you want to do. She said, go do it. She said, at least he didn't lie to you. You know what I'm saying? And he showed me his realness. And then I saw his hustle, bro. Because we ended up coming up there. We went up there for 3 days and ended up staying there a year and a half.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, I wasn't just up there rapping. He had me. I was, and I tell people proudly, I was the driver. I was driving him around, but I was seeing how he worked, dog. I'm talking about get up in the morning. I pick him up at 6:37 in the morning, and we roll until like 1 o'clock in the morning, where then we go to studio. And when we done with that, we go get something to eat, and then drop him off. And drop him off. He sit on the bed, and I might drop him off at about 4 o'clock, and he'll tell me, one of the first arguments he got on me about I was late, because I was like, man, we got in at 5-something from studio and in breakfast or whatever, and I said, man, let that dude sleep. And I got there at 7:45, and I was supposed to be there at 7, and he was like, man, that 45 minutes not just cost me money, that made somebody else get that spot. Don't ever be late. You know what I'm saying? And so that I watch him hustle, dog. I watch him do stuff, bro, that when we sit around and talk and we say what's real gangster, pulling the gun out, robbing, shooting, killing, and all that craziness. I watched this man sit in front of biggest music chains, a black man with golds in his mouth from the hood, and manipulate them mentally to order our CDs. I'm talking about millions, where we shipping out 500,000, 1 million, 2 million. And the big wigs at Walmart, Target, at the time, Kmart, Best Buy, all of them. And I watched this man stand at meetings, bro. And I would be nervous. You got all these people in here, and he handled his business. And before we walk out there, you shipping out 2 million on your album. And his deal was so different, bro. His deal was like, if we shipping out 2 million and they buying it at $10 and they selling it to y'all for 17, So you got to mint. That's 2 million times 10. You know what I'm saying? That's $20 million. And then he would get 50% of his money up front. They hadn't even sold. See, people didn't understand the method of his madness. So when y'all see us dropping albums after albums, they was paying him half of whatever we was selling of that 10. So when Ghetto D came out, imagine this check if he shipped out 4 million times $10. That's 40 million, and they giving him 20 million off top up front.
Damn.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you know, because it was bro. It was extraordinary when I look back at it and say, man, this a dude from the hood, from the project, goes in his mouth. Everything that they try to talk about, thug and all this craziness.
Yeah.
He was in board meetings, bro. You get what I'm saying to you? Like real board meetings. And man, I watched him, dog, but I watched him work. He didn't have other people working. We go into the stores and put the CDs in the stores, and he doing it consignment. And back then you had on demand, you know what I'm saying, payment on demand. So you UPS drop your CDs off, then they get the money and they send it back to you. You know what I'm saying? And this is what he was doing all day, then going to the studio, setting up our albums. It was like, bro, you didn't get a breather. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then once he started figuring out, okay, he know where to go, he know where to serve, you need to go over here. We're gonna pick up these CDs, you go drop them off, get them shipped out, blah, 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 blah. Go check on this. Dog, he forced us to be businessmen. So that's what it was like. That was my first impression of him, that everything he said, and you know, in the game today, guys, I see how it go. I won't say names, but I see it all on the internet. They going at old company CEOs and saying they ain't keep their word, they ain't do this. Nah, Abdul kept his word, every bit of his word, man.
That's what's up. Hey, shout out to Master P, man. Cause that run, especially that run from 94 to 2000, that No Limit run was legendary. And I know you lived it firsthand. And so without going over stories that you've, already told before, was there something about that era that people still don't fully understand or at least give enough credit to?
You know what they don't understand? I think number one, percentages, right? When Billboard is 100%, like 100 top 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had 15% of the music market at one time. We had 15 albums in the top 100 albums.
Yeah.
We had 15 charts on one time. That means, think about the money since everybody measure everything by money.
Mm-hmm.
You have 15% of 100% of music, every genre. We controlled 15%, 15 albums in the top 100 at one time for like 3 weeks straight. You know what I'm saying? And when if you want to break that down, if I shipped out 500,000, okay, that's 500,000. That means company made 5 million. Correct, right?
Okay.
And you break down numbers, take the 500 from shipping, you know what I'm saying, $1 CD, whatever. So company made, you know what I'm saying, made the, 4.5 million, right? So you got to really sit down and think. If I did that, then next week I might have did half of that, 200,000. Still made that's about going up about 7-8 million to be exact, 6-7 million. Now think about the next week, somebody else came out. So within a month, you got to see a black-owned company making corporate company money, where at the end of the month, if we put out 4 albums, our company might have basically sold $30 million in 1 month.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a black-owned man and own his masters, getting everything, you know what I'm saying? And then he did with us, we did 50-50, where we own 50% of our masters at that time. And then he gave us all our publishing. And that was unheard of. The people like from the Outcasts, all them legendary groups, they was in bad deals, man, even though they was just the greatest. But you got to imagine being an artist and you get all your publishing and you getting 50% of your masters. Like right now, I own my masters. You get what I'm saying? And so that's the thing, people don't grasp that what you doing right now, you own your podcast, your show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get every day, like he used to say, 15% can't pay my rent. I want the whole whop. You know what I'm saying? He was getting the whole whop as a black man. You know what I'm saying? In America. You know, and then putting other black people on, and you know, because I always say, man, we don't put each other on. He opening the door, and I'm gonna kick it open, and y'all come through it. You know what I'm saying? So that was something I think people don't understand. When everybody talk about money, go look at those numbers. Go look at the fact if I tell you 4 albums came out in 1 month, and one company damn near made $30 million a month. I watched him once because I saw some paperwork. 1998, he made no less than $14 million a month. After Priority got theirs, everybody got theirs. His check coming back to him was $14 million a month for 12 months straight.
Damn.
Yeah, you got to really sit down. And I saw this. I saw the whole year. I saw the numbers. You know what I'm saying? And if people always talking about money, think about that type of money. If that's what move you to the fullest, ain't nothing wrong with that. Money is, we all need it. But we talking $14 million a month, dog. And that's what people didn't understand. And then they didn't control him. He dropped what he want when he wanted. And you got to think about that. Where in this country that a black man could do what he want to, how he want to, and you know what I'm saying, and they don't control him in any way, you know, and can't stop him and can't control him. You know, if he's not gonna make a mistake. You never heard our albums being bootleg because they got out there. You know what I'm saying? Too early.
Yeah. No, I never heard that. Another thing that I thought was going to be a problem, but it really didn't, is you know how most labels, when they have artists on the same label that's dropping projects, they try to spread them out so it doesn't run into the sale of the last one, or like or cut off the sales. Y'all didn't really have that problem.
No, because number one, you know, what he did was, you know, we were family. It wasn't gonna be no jealousy. It was. That's why you saw all of us on each other albums. You know, whether I wanted you on there or not, you know what I'm saying? It was expected. You know what I'm saying? And then also everybody knew I ain't gotta wait for my time. It's coming, because we had so many artists, and he was gonna work and put everyone out, because I told you how he was getting the money. You know what I'm saying? So his thing, you know, it was like, and then he didn't play games, though. You had 2 weeks to turn in at least 30 songs. 22 might have been on the album, and the other 8 is in the vote. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think, you got 2 weeks. So it was like this, man. You know, being married at that time, I used to be like, tell my wife and kids, I'll see y'all later, because you wasn't gonna see me for the next 2-3 weeks.
Gotcha.
If you did, I was asleep. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, man, when I was growing up, and I tell them now, man, spend time with your kids. If you get into this, every own moment you can, because when it happens for you, I never saw none of my kids take their first steps, though, because I was gone. I come home, they walking. I leave, they crawling. I come home, they walking. Like right now, my son, I'm about to leave to go to Houston. He's having his first child along with his wife, you know, and I'm like, my thing is, and it's crazy. And they like, why I always say this, my son? I said, son, I left, you was crawling. I come back off tour and from working, you walking. I'm not going to do that with my grandchild. I want to be there every moment, you know, so I think that's the thing people didn't understand. Everybody, money moves them, and who got the most and this, that. I put him up against anybody. What he was doing, bro. You talking about a black man in this country, that was having it his way, and it was nothing they could do. They couldn't come at us with taxes. He handled the taxes. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't come at us with illegal activity. We wasn't involved in it. He wouldn't have nothing around him. You know, they couldn't come at us for things getting in trouble or whatever. He didn't play that. You feel what I'm saying? He protected us at all costs, man. I'm talking about, you never heard on No Limit, sexual assault case and all that, you know, and any victims out there, any that ever happened to other people, I'm sorry, you know, but you never heard that with us. You know, his thing was, if you were single and you like females, okay, you know, you ain't going out there searching. You'll have some around you. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, not. You know, we never had those issues, man, because we ran a tight ship. And then you couldn't be, as an artist, you couldn't be jealous of no one. Because if you had an issue, we had a room and we had boxing gloves. So if you had an issue, put the gloves on. If not, shut the fuck up. Excuse my language.
Oh
You
no,
know what
you
I'm
good.
saying?
Yeah.
But that was his philosophy. If me and you in there and we shooting dice or something, we start arguing and you come up bitch ass about it, I look like it's about to be a fight.
Mhm.
Somebody senior gonna say, y'all got an issue. And me and you might say, yeah, I got an issue with him. Yeah, I got an issue with him. All right, put the gloves on. And if you say, man, I ain't putting that on, shut the fuck up then. And get
Already.
from around. That's your brother. Y'all brothers fight. Go up in here, put these gloves on in that room, get it out your chest, get it off your chest, and come out there and it's over.
Yeah, that's the
You know what
manly
I'm
way to
saying?
handle it. That's
Oh
the
yeah.
man, grown man
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, and every day we went play basketball. It was for exercise and it was for camaraderie. Whether you could play or not, you had to go. You know, even Mia had to go. She didn't play. She came and chilled, but it was family. We had rules. If I was gone and I was going to get something to eat, I had to call the studio to see who all was in there, and I had to buy everybody something in there. I couldn't come in there with just my own food. You know what I'm saying? We had rules of family, and if you was out of town, and I didn't go to your house, but I check on it to make sure your wife or kids they need anything or whatever, whatnot, to make sure they're okay. You know what I'm saying? It was family. It was family respect. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's some of the things they don't have today. That's why you see so many artists they mad at this and mad at that with their label and this, that, and that
Yeah.
because it was really only business for them. It was family for us and business, on the other end.
Okay. Well, hey, talking about family, I want to discuss your life insurance album. I want to start. Yeah, I need to talk about the cover first because, like I told you earlier, that
Mhm.
before we started recording, that I had it
Yeah.
on my wall. To me, I still think it's one of the best covers to me. But explain the name and were you really in the casket?
Okay, first of all, number one, when he came and told me, I thank E40, the
Okay.
great E40. I
Shout out to
thank the
E40.
great yeah, because he heard one of the songs and he turned and P asked P, who is that? Which one is that? And P said, that's him, Serv-On. And he was like, hey, Playboy, you better put him out. And about 3 days later, P said, come on, man, we got to go. And he was like, put your black t-shirt, put your black shit on. And it was so funny because I always used to get in trouble, man. I used to take the van and everything, bro, and go ride through Oakland and all that shit. And I just do get in trouble, man. Especially when C would come up there, we just do stuff. And so we riding and we pull up and I see a hearse. I said, man, what's going on? He said, come on. I said, nah, I ain't, nah, I'm gonna sit in the car. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah. And I'm sitting back thinking, I'm gonna get home. I don't know what I done did. Bringing me by this house, these houses, and a damn hearse sitting there. I'm like, I got your back, whatever it is, but you ain't tell me we going, whatever. But I know I just got in trouble. I'm not getting out this car, right? And he was like, nah, man, you about to shoot your commercial. He said, look at the damn hearse. And it had gold Dayton's on it. He said, you about to shoot your commercial for the album. He said, I thought about it. I want to name your album Life Insurance. And so he was like, what you think of that? And he said, think about it. And I sat down, man. He said, you always talking about paperwork and what stuff mean, because I'm a very philosophical guy. I look deeper into things. And so when we came up with life insurance, my thing with life insurance is everything in your life is about paper. Now, think about this. When I say everything is about paper, right? Life insurance. That means Mr. Serv-On get your life insurance policy, right? When you born, when you born, what defines you? Your birth certificate.
Certificate. Yep.
That's paper. Your social security card. That's paper, right?
Yep.
When you die,
Your death certificate.
death certificate.
Paper.
While you're living, if you vote, you're voting, your voter registration, right? Your bills you pay, all paper, right? Now you get it in your email, but paper, it's still send a paper to get actually choice, you know. So, and money, the number one thing, what is it? Never people say it's paper. So everything about your life is paper. Your whole life is insured off your birth certificate, your social security number, your driver's license is paper before you fill it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You,
before you get the
that's it.
physical copy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so we, you know what I'm saying? We all live for paper. We live by being insured by something that is of paper. Life insurance. Your whole life is insured by paper. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what life insurance, that's what the life mindset of it. And, we did our first commercial. That's, when getting out and I opened the door and then my album cover come out. And I just thought that was that's the genius of him, dog. He don't sit and think 10 days about something. He sit there and he be sitting there, he could be listening to a song and he come up, we're gonna name it life insurance. And then when it was time to shoot the photo stuff, right? I did one photo and I put it up that showed that was supposed to be the cover because at that time I was still playing ball. I'm in shape, so I won't take my shirt off, all that other stuff. That was the first life insurance cover.
Okay.
And he was like, nah. He said, you remind me of Scarface because you have a dark and more deep feeling. So, Mr. Serv-On, Mr. Scarface. And then that so happened to be the greatest rapper alive to me, Scarface.
Yeah. In my top five.
I'm a big fan, man. Yeah, he definitely my top 5. But so he was like, gonna name the album Life Insurance. And he said, so he brings me, said, man, look, you gotta take this picture. I'm like, okay, I thought we took. He said, nah, I need that cover I need him to feel this. And I had to lay in that damn coffin. I didn't want to do it. 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 And he was like, we're going to make it real. And then he added in there the lady crying, in the briefcase and stuff like that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but the real actual pictures, it was a real coffin. And I was like, man, am I cursing myself laying in this thing, man? And it just happened to be a cover that a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? But for the end of my career, which that certificate is gonna be my last, album. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting in no coffin. Ain't gotta worry about that.
What?
My mother saw that, God rest her soul.
That's what I'm about to say. That's what I'm about to say. How did your family feel about that, man?
They didn't like it. They didn't like. My mother was such a church going lady of God. She did not like that. She did not like that. It scared her for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I don't know what I was thinking about, but we wanted to make the cover as real as possible. But I wasn't feeling it. When it was done, that last picture, I hopped up. I got, man, look, I'll open this up. Let me out here, man. I get from around this, man. But yeah, that's how that came about.
Damn, that's a legendary cover right there. I ain't gonna lie. And,
yeah.
Your name. Did you come up with Mr. Serv-On?
No, actually, two things of that. MC8. You remember in the song, you said, "Gotta get my serve on, but niggas don't hear me though."
Yeah,
he was one of my favorite artists. And my first song I ever did, KLC took that part in there, "Gotta get my serve on, but niggas you don't hear me though," and we looped it. And P, we look up one day, they got a video right after he got my cassette tape. I'm telling my age, and the lead single on there was called "Get My Serve On." And he had a video where he could say, he was like, hoping to get our serve on, but y'all don't hear us though. So, we called him like, bro, that's our hook. You know what I'm saying? He was like, don't trip. I'm going to bring y'all up here. You know what I'm saying? Just bring in. So the thing about it was a guy called Big Mo, God bless his soul. He no longer here. And I'm not proud to say this. And I want people that's going to see that it's not nothing to be proud of, but this way it come from. Mm-hmm. My guy used to tell me, because I went to the university, the university, the hood university, where you lock down, you can't go nowhere. I call it the hood university. Uh-huh. So, I dealt with that, and maybe find out later in the interview what how I end up serving time. But it wasn't no major sits. I'm not going to be like other guys. Oh, I did, no. But I remember old man told me, he said, if you're going to go to jail, he said, make sure you go to the feds. He said, go learn corporate crime. It's different. Yeah. And so I'm like, what do you so what happened was, man, I started working at a bank, and I was the guy that approved your credit card at night if you're trying to get the extension. And I was dating at the time a chick from that worked at the driver's license place. So I started putting two and two together. I learned the system. And the system was basically, say you now doing this music, say you was doing this podcast back then, and you like, man, I want to get my podcast started. I'll be like, well, what you need for it? And you might say, man, I ain't quitting about $4,000. I said, give me 1,000 and I'll get it to you in 2 days. So what I would do is do what I do. And I always felt like I was getting back at people that oppressed us. And I had the info or everything. You know what they said, scammers in Atlanta and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. I was 25 years ahead of them. And so I was that guy that in about 2 days, 3 days back then, and it wasn't the overnight stuff, you come up and you have all your equipment. Just give me my $1,000. And so, and I start getting to the point where everybody, when they start wearing that the jerseys, football jerseys, authentics and basketball and all that, I was the one that had everything. You know what I'm saying? You want to fly somewhere? Done. Whatever you wanted, you know what I'm saying? Even cars, used cars, whatever you wanted, I got it for you. And so one of them, I remember I did the song and Big Mo was like, man, you serve everybody. And then the song got to get my Serv-On. And because my rap name was C Rock at that time.
Yeah.
And so they want each KLM changed it to Serv-On. And so then P put the Mister in front of it. So what it was is, and Big Mo said, man, he said, bro, you'll serve somebody a pair of socks in the wintertime with a hole in it. You know what I'm saying? If they need it, and so that started with that song. And then what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? It was like, okay, Mr. Serv-On at the time. And then when I got with P, it was like he put the Mister in front of it because of Scarface. Mr. Scarface, Mr. Serv-On. So, but the acronym means surviving every racial vendetta enslaved on niggas. You know what I'm saying? So it's spelled SERV-ON, but the real acronym that we spell it SERVEON. So, you know what I'm saying? But surviving every racial vendetta enslaved on niggas. And that's what the acronym, what it broke down, because me doing what I was doing, I was surviving that racial vendetta that was put on us. So I was taking what y'all created, y'all system, y'all corporate system, and I was, taking care of my people with it.
I never knew your name was actually an acronym though. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I used to play the game, dog. Like when I used to be, people call you at night, and I could see, and I always laugh and say, man, I was being a racist, man, because I would see who calling, and they like, hey, I need extension. I'm at a restaurant, and I look up and I see a certain race, and I'll be like, no, we can't extend it. But say you call, and I look and see it, yeah, we extended $200. You know what I'm saying? It was like my way of fighting the system. It was wrong. I'm gonna tell you, I tell anybody, man, what I was doing was wrong back then. Even though their stuff was insured, I was wrong. But that was my way of surviving. That old man told me, if you're gonna do crime, do corporate time. And you get fair time, it won't be that much. And you might not get nothing because whatever you might be doing, they don't want that to get out.
Okay, now I know you said on your album Life Insurance, you said that this beat went to the right person. Okay, but I do need to touch on this because I really want to know. So I heard on the 20th anniversary of Life Insurance, you talked about Make Them Say the beat by KLC originally being meant for your Soldier song.
Yeah, you know how we always have soldier songs in the beginning. That was a No Limit trademark.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to be different. Just like on Life Insurance, my soldier song was different. It was Let's Get It Started.
Yeah.
So I was working on my album, and that was gonna be my soldier song. And around that time, my baby girl She was about, she was basically, she was coming. You know what I'm saying? And so I went home to check on it, right? And when he came back, P heard the beat, and P was like, man, Serv album finished. Cause I do a lot of songs. He was like, Serv album finished. I got that, don't trip on it. And so then it was like a little situation with a local rapper that was kind of mad with P about some business or whatever. And I had the cassette, and we was listening to it one day. And so P heard it and was like, okay, heard a certain song. And so P was already mad because they kind of tried to, one day they was like, man, he owes a few dollars from whatchamacallit. And they legendary, man, down there. They good peoples, man. We all good. And I ended up seeing them in a club, and they came up to me like, man, P owes some money. He ain't give us all the money. And so P, P not like that. He the type, man, I'm gonna pay you so no nigga will ever say I owe you anything. Oh, really? So when I called him, P was like, I called him and P was like, what I owe him? You know what I'm saying? And it was like $1,500 or something like that, right? P was like, you got money on you? I said, yeah. He said, give it to him. Right. And so gave it to him, and he was like, I was like, what you want, what's up? How you want me to handle it? He's like, nah, leave it alone, let it go. And so we let it go. We left it alone. But P is petty. P was petty before the word petty. So if you listen to it, and they had used that song, na 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 na, right? And they song. So if you listen to it, P said, make them say, na 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 na. And then if you listen to him when he started off, he said, I'm the colonel of the gold and platinum tank. Y'all have the big things. I'm after big bank. You feel what up? Yeah. So that was like letting him know, like, y'all tripping over them few dollars that I might have forgot to give you, which he understood, like, man, if I owe it to him, no problem. Yeah. And so, but he like, y'all have the big things. We have the big bank. You know what I'm saying? Like real money, and to him. And so, so when, he did it and I was gone and he was just putting, they were just putting who was there on it. And, when I come back, I was like, I heard it and I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? But I was happy my album was done. So, but I felt like I wouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? That's just like I'm About It. I'm About It was my beat first. You know what I'm saying? And I had a different way of doing the song I was going to do. So P used that for a commercial, and he was like, y'all tripping on us, and nah, man, take it. Because we was starting out with him. It was like, take it. And he used it for a commercial, and then it turned into a real song. So, but I was doing something, I was called naming it Bucking Like a Winchester, a gun. Talk about a gun. Oh, so, okay. Yeah, so it was, so I'm About It wouldn't have been I'm About It. You know what I'm saying? And that was KL's new sound that he had created on I'm About It. And so P turned to a commercial that turned into a big song. So that's why I tell people sometimes everything ain't meant for you. That might have been two beats. I'm not saying I wouldn't have did something nice on it, banging on it, but that's two beats that it was meant for the right person. God wanted him to have it. Gotcha. That's like fuck them other niggas. That was Silk beat. That was Silk beat first. You know what I'm saying? And so, damn. And C was mad about Dead Roast, trying to say stuff towards Snoop and us, and C was like, nah, let me, Silk was like, nah, pass on it. And, and C was like, and we had order. So C was next up. And if C would have said, nah, he didn't want it, then I would have got it. You know what I'm saying? We had order the way we had it. And C was mad. You know what I'm saying? C went in there and did the hook, and the rest is history. So see, if Silk might have did it, it still would have been banging, but it wouldn't have been that. Gotcha. Is there any other legendary beats that were something else that you kind of passed on? Or no, that was the two. That was the two. Okay. And I always laugh like, excuse me. I always laugh, like, but they wouldn't have been the same. Because I'm About It, I was doing a song called Bucket Like a Winchester, and what KL did was, and I'm going to show you, if you listen to my song, Throw Your City Up, right? Yes. You think about how I named those cities. So the thing about it is, man, if you listen to About It, I still got to contribute by naming some of the cities for About It.
Okay.
So throw your city up was KL being say, man, I got something for you since doing About It. And so he gave me that. You know what I'm saying? And if you listen to my song Before I Die, that was like that same tempo of About It. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
So what I did on Before I Die, that's what I would have really did on About It beat.
About it. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So like I said, that wouldn't have probably, you get what I'm saying? So it was meant for P, and that was meant for for P also on Make 'Em Say And it was
Gotcha.
meant for C to do fuck about the nigga.
Niggas. Yeah. So I gotta ask you this, and not just as a fan, but for the culture. What's Mr. Serv-On's top 5 artists that shaped you? I know Scarface is our
Skullface, no corrupt, no order.
no order.
Scarface and Pac is just such a tie for me.
Okay.
And LL, because that's who I want. That's who I really wanted to be. He shaped who I am. My name is, Edward Corey Smith. His name is James Todd Smith. I used to work out, want to be like L. I used to wear the one pants leg up.
yeah.
Girlfriend, a girlfriend even broke up with me, man, and told me I'd never be no rapper because I perform on bad at her brother party, just doing it, right? And she was like, "You embarrass me, and you ain't gonna ever be no rapper." You know what I'm saying? And so it was like that propelled me, like I'm gonna show you. You know what I'm saying? And later on, the greatest gift for me was her husband became one of my fans, and she had to stand there and take a picture with me and her husband. Once all the No Limit stuff happened, it was like the greatest picture I ever took, dude. Like I don't smile on pictures. I was smiling because I'm
really?
sitting there like, and if you look at the picture, see her face because her husband, he excited. And she just standing there with this look like,
really? I know that.
yeah.
Okay, so you got 3.
So it's LL, Pac, Scarface. Damn, it's this one hard.
2 more.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
And that's later in life. He moved up quick, man. I a big fan of his.
1 more.
Man, this is hard because it's hard when people do that 5, man. And it's rappers. We talking about rappers. Man, it's a young dude, man, that I think have passed, and some people gonna get mad at me, man.
Who?
I love Rod Wave, man.
Okay.
Rod Wave give me that, and people say maybe he shouldn't be in my top 5 of all times because I'm a, OG in this. But he's creeped in, where because I like people that I like music that I can feel. You know what I'm saying? And for his first, I remember the song Tombstone. It was so real to me. He was like, my daddy told me about the feds, and I'm, I feel scared. That's some honesty. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I ain't trying to go there. And he's a man. He's a good young man, bro. He do his thing, because he's like family to me. You know what I'm saying? And he's one of my artists, like, because when I do playlists, man, I have different playlists. I might have the playlist might have deep shit. You know what I'm saying? That's might be the name of it. So, I'm gonna have my Skullface, my Benny Siegel, Feel It in the Air. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my Tupac and stuff like that on there. Fredo Bang got a song. I like him and Dirk, Lil Dirk, because I mess with the young guys, man. And Rod Wave definitely on there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like the young guys that, you know what I'm saying? Like I like Lil Baby, and he had the song, I forgot the name of it, man, Scarred.
Yeah, I used to bump. I bump Lil Baby too.
So, I like music like that, man. I like stuff that I can feel that, I've been there. Either I done went through what they talking about, or, it just has stuff going on in my mind. I want to be able to, like with Pac, I always want to, Pac just put me in that mindset, that mood, not the mindset to go out there and act up.
But I like, like everybody have their favorite song of Pac. My favorite song of Pac is Unconditional Love.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
that's a
because
classic right there, man.
I just felt like that song was my life. When he said, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to be a burden, because I was 10 years behind my brother and sister. And, I felt like my mom, and I got a new song where I'm talking about my mom who's now gone now since 3 years now. And I said on there where I'm 10 years behind the rest. She could have been my daddy's loving wife instead of giving me life. You know what I'm saying? And I used to feel that way because my brother, my sister was always hard on me. God bless her soul. And my brother, they was always, well, you mama's favorite. And how
Yeah,
life ended up being. My mama knew something. She was always to say, "You're gonna be the one to take care of everybody." You know what I'm saying? And so, and it ended up being that way. And she was the hardest on me, like never telling me, "Hey, I'm proud of you," right?
yeah,
But I would always find out how much she was proud of me because all our church members and stuff and things like that. So that song resonated with me watching cartoons in the living room. You know what I'm saying? And don't want to be a burden, man. And then he said something that in that song that related to rappers. When all the lights and screams scatter, only my dreams matter. You know what I'm
ooh,
saying? And
yeah,
and that was just like with all rappers. When all the lights and screams scatter, man, you know what I'm saying? Only thing that you matter is your dreams. If you didn't reach them, that's what's gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? And so that's like Jay-Z. People love a lot of stuff with Jay, and Jay one of my favorite artists, but Never Change is my favorite song.
want a hip hop fact on that Unconditional Love?
Yeah, tell me about it.
You know he wrote that song for MC Hammer.
I can believe that. I
Yeah,
can believe that.
so when Hammer he signed with Death Row at the tail end, and it was Pac was working on his he was doing an album called Too Tight, and he wrote that song for Hammer, and Hammer actually has a version of it, but the song that we hear from Pac is the reference track.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
But you know what's crazy? Hammer was the one telling him not to come to Vegas.
Yes. I did hear
Hammer,
that.
and I think when he got there, Hammer, he related more to Hammer, because see, I laugh, bro, when people, think about MC Hammer and the dancing. Hammer, gee, homie,
Oh yeah.
Hammer's Hammer a gangster, dog. Hammer whole family. We was out there in the bed when we started, and I think something that people want to talk about a flex, right? Everybody like to stunt, cars, houses, all that, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what I think is one of the most gangster flexes when motherfuckers want to talk about what they got. When we used to be flying into Oakland,
Mhm.
the captain would say, and as we flying, if you look to the left at the top of the ravine, that's MC Hammer's house. Every time, bro. You know how gangster that is, dog? Where the
Yeah.
pilot knows that is this man's house, bro.
Yeah, that is a flex.
And I think Hammer was the first person that say, everybody said, man, he ain't put nobody on. Man, he put everybody on.
Yeah, he did.
That dude, I mean, his money that he had to pay everybody every night, 40, 50 people, bro. And you never heard nobody come back and say, well, he didn't pay me, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, people don't understand the money Hammer made, what Hammer did, and then don't let the baggy pants and all that dancing fool you. He wasn't to be played with or disrespected.
Yeah.
You know, so that's crazy though. And somebody like Pac, who everybody feel was that ultimate thug, he had the greatest respect for him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but that's crazy. He done messed me up. That was for Hammer, man. But that's
Yep.
a deep song, man. To write for your friend, like Unconditional Love, man. That's deep, man. That's why
Yeah.
I love Pac. Like I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Unconditional love, man. That's what I relate to, man. I relate to, that's why all the hard stuff DMX had, man. What's the song? I forgot the name of it, man. Oh my God, it's that slower one that he had, man.
Um.
I'm falling. I can't get up, falling. I can't get
Oh,
up.
that one. Okay.
Oh
I was
my God, man.
I was thinking of the one he did for the soundtrack.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, but it's like stuff like that. That's what moved me when I tell a lot of artists when I talk to them. I say, man, y'all got to give something to these people that they can feel like they're living every day.
Yeah.
You know, you can't keep, you know, you want to last longer. You got to really touch the people. You know, you got to have them when nobody around and the party ain't hitting, and then they got something going on, but they could go to your song. You know, and a
Yeah.
lot of artists don't get to that point in life. They just stay, and it's like you got to grow. You know, and so I knew what type of artist I was, and that's what I know I was good at because that's the type of music I like, and that's why Rod Wave fell on that category with me. You know what
Gotcha.
I'm saying?
Speaking of growth, I know after your No Limit run, you stepped out and built your own with Lifetime Entertainment.
Yeah.
So, what did that shift teach you about ownership? Like, how did it change your definition of success?
All right. When I before I tell you this, I'm gonna tell you something that nobody knew. I'm gonna say I messed up, but it wasn't God's plan. When I went to Selecto, right, and I did War Is Me, and I'm gonna jump back to that because it says something.
Mhm.
Selecto hits actually offered me something, and I just was like, nah, I don't know. Paul 36 Mafia was, you know, still doing stuff there, whatever, whatnot, you know, doing things or whatever, you know, like side album stuff with them making their money because Paul them was hustlers. And
Mhm.
I remember it's crazy. They offered to partner with me and make me a partner to head their rap division. Now you gotta imagine what I passed up on. Not just 3 6 side projects and whatever, a
Yeah.
young Yo Gotti and all of them. And all of
Yeah.
Memphis. And that mean I would have been over. I would have been over that the whole rap division. You know what I'm saying? And partner with them, not just be a president of it, but it would have been I'd been a partner in it. You know, percentage. And I didn't take it. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't take it. Now, when I got the Selecto hits, man, this is the crazy part. I understood what P went through, but I didn't really understand it until I
Okay.
became my own. You know what I'm saying? And dealing with people, dealing with business, dealing with promotions, promoting marketing, you know, dealing with the stores and stuff like that. And then I also got had two artists, and I tried to mimic what P did, and it was a greatest learning lesson for me because I put them on and was putting their single out before me. A young lady and a young man that like you know form a rap group, and they you know they were nice, and the female I think this young lady had the potential to be a little Kim, or the potential to be a Fox, you know she had it, but she was also lyrical, like you know what I'm saying, and she had it, and then the young man, which was her kid's father, they were together, you know what I'm saying. He was a hell of a producer. You know what I'm saying? And he was nice with music and whatever, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And so I I tried to do it the way P did it, and man, got him straight, got him got him to get ready, get an apartment, bought him equipment, got him straight, got the song done and everything, put him out, and people feel like okay, I'm with Serv and this, that, and that, and other people start getting at him that never dealt with him. And I look up one day, they was gone, left the city, moved clean to Baltimore, took the equipment and everything.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I got a car and everything to get around for their family and whatever, whatnot, man. And I learned the parts of the game and dealing with the ups and downs of it. And I had me have more respect for people. You know what I'm saying? And then, then also learning that, yeah, I was who I was and what I did on No Limit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you start seeing the other sides of the game, the ass kissing part of the game. You know what I'm saying? And the kind of the little games that people play or whatever, whatnot. So it was a hard learning lesson, but I'm great. I'm glad I was, I'm blessed that I learned it. You know what I'm saying? And then I learned the business of the aspect of why P did a lot of stuff he did. And so it was a hell of a learning lesson, bro. But it made me better as a businessman today.
Okay. Got it. Damn. Why'd you turn down the Selecto hits? The partnership?
I think I let my ego get in the way because I went on this thing when I left No Limit and I decided to jump back into music and I got my deal with Selecto. I thought my ego was like, nah, you know what? It's about me. I want my respect. I want my just due. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, people know who I was, but I had music in me that, and I had stuff in me that I felt like right now, you know, I'm not trying to deal with all that. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I want to dominate everybody that they got. I want to dominate everybody on every other label. You know what I'm saying? And it was ego, not business, like Pete taught me. Well, I should have looked at it like if you're in that situation and you get that, not only you gonna be making money, you know what I'm saying, and you're gonna be in a different on a different level, which was gonna make you increase your level of notoriety and then everything else and respect. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that. I was just on something where it was like I got out of it when I left No Limit, took time out, and then jumped back in it, and it was like, nah, I want to be that one. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what made me, because it wasn't the fact that okay, I got to deal with all these people and there was more street artists or whatever, whatnot, because I don't fear none but God. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and I probably could have did better to help those artists get better situations. You know what I'm saying? And better percentages and things like that. And I just was like, you know what? I won't make me to be where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? Before I'm getting so consumed with all of this. And I think that was like the craziest mistake. It was like me sitting down saying, I'm gonna give you this little restaurant that got the M on it and the M yellow and red on the side of it. And I mean, it might not be much, you know what I'm saying, but you know about it. It was like somebody giving me a McDonald's that went before McDonald's was big. And I'm like, nah, I want Wendy's. Wendy's out here bigger. You know what I'm saying? I want, I'm Wendy's right now. I want to be, instead of saying I could get these McDonald's and then build them everywhere. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? That I didn't see that, and that's something that he would have said, take that. He would have probably told me, man, look, man, take that position because now you're gonna be even bigger. And I didn't see that because all I saw is being a rapper, not just being a CEO. You know what I'm saying? And I always say that when I didn't take that and just still end up going to be a CEO with other artists, I messed up because those artists were coming, in time. You feel what I'm saying? And then Paul and them already was doing their thing and doing little side records because Paul was smart. They had their deal, but they would do stuff with Selecto, which mean they'd have been dealing with me. You know what I'm saying, or
Damn.
whatever. Yeah, Johnny Phillips offered me that, and I just didn't take it. Because that means you got to think about all the artists in Memphis. Because I stayed in Memphis about 2 weeks, and that mean I'd have been all the artists that were trying to come. I would have been having some type of part of their situation that was dealing with Selective.
Yeah, because
So
I
we
ain't
can
gonna
go
lie.
down the
Yeah.
line, a whole lot of them. The whole rap division, they wanted to turn over to me
Damn.
and partner with me. So
Ooh.
that's one of the things I always regret.
Okay.
But maybe it wasn't in God's plan, so I can accept that.
I can understand that. I can see that. Damn. I'm glad you gave us that information though, and that that
A lot of
hip hop
people don't
fact
know
right
that. I never spoke about that. I never spoke about it publicly.
Yeah, because Selecto hits, man. Yeah, because 3 6 Mafia was one of the biggest ones on there and was able to kind of put out these side projects and stuff. So,
And I'm gonna tell you something funny about them too. Man, I happened to be in the office one day when Paul and them came one day, and I guess there's some disruption with Selective Hits. And this was after they offered me that, and Paul and was in there, and I remember him telling me, and he probably, I don't know if you might remember, he said, "Man, make sure you pay attention to your business." And Paul and wasn't no joke. they came in there and they went off. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that was learning the business. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Now, I did want to give you space to kind of clarify this because I need to make sure, like, I understand, but for everybody on the outside as well, a lot of people might not fully understand the structure. So, what was the difference between Lifetime Entertainment and then the Hot City Music Group? And then what are you
Okay.
building right now with Hot City?
Okay. Well, actually, I'm okay. Lifetime Entertainment was going to be the label because I wanted other artists, and this might shock a lot of people. R&B is my favorite music. And
Oh,
so
shit.
I really wanted to build an R&B label and just like Motown. I always dreamed to be. I love Barry Gordy. I respected Russell. You know what I'm saying? But I loved what Barry Gordy built. You know what I'm saying? So I really wanted R&B artists. I wanted to bring. So Lifetime was really set out to be that, not even rap. You feel what I'm saying? But Hot
Hmm.
City Music was that because I felt like New Orleans was the hottest city in the world at that time because you got no limit, you got cash money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I that was my way to get back and rap. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of let Hot City go, and for a while, and so right now what I'm building, you know what I'm saying, is in the media standpoint in your world. You know what I'm saying? And so we got Vibe World coming, which comes with an app and a movie, a movie app and things like that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do some very special things. I have my own headphones that now, my Vibe headphones, which are being created, but they're gonna be created in a special way for artists and just everyday people. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But it's something that we about to do. That look, I can't say it on here because how people take and run with your stuff. Not you. I'm just
Yeah.
saying other people. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I got you. Yeah, that's still your ideas.
So,
Quick.
yeah. So but it's gonna be very, very different. And I mean, nice headphones. It's crazy, man. And so we're going into that world, but it's gonna be a way where artists can really make money. You know what I'm saying? And then the app that we have, friends of mine, they have. I'm in a partnership with my guy Torrin Tucker, who played for the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys. Uh, he has this thing called app coming out called out the trunk, the groove, and
Hmm.
it's gonna be very different for artists to really be able to make money. And so I'm helping him with that because I had something that I was putting together, an app, and I was doing it, and then I just collided, collaborated with him and gave a lot of the ideas of what I'm doing, so artists will definitely be able to make money. You
Okay,
know
so
what
you
I'm
have the
saying?
app. Oh, my bad. I
We
didn't mean to
got the
cut you off, but you have the
no,
app
you
and then the
good.
headphones coming.
We got the app, we got the headphones coming. Uh, of course, I got the podcast, The Good Cigar. Um, and we have the podcast, Let's Talk. And the Good Cigar is it's more grown talk. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It might have some things, entertainment here and there if I discuss it, but Let's Talk, and a Good Cigar is politics, business, everything. But Let's Talk with Serv is gonna be, and I'll say it on there because I ain't afraid of the competition. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be more like a music show where now I'll be playing independent artist music, their videos, and I'm gonna be on location. I'm gonna be coming to your city. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying, and do the interviews and just bring it back where I could help these independent artists, get out here. You know
Oh,
what I'm
okay.
saying, and we got a concept of how we're gonna do things. So I'm building that right now, and also I'm big on financial literacy with our community. And so I'm partnering with some people to now, you know, let's go get everybody together because I'm an ambassador for HBCU Heroes, and we go to HBCUs and we talk to the students about business startups and teaching them financial literacy, even though they're learning in college, but we come in more grassroots. That's like you saying kids that want to be in media and in school, and you go in there and now you giving them the ins and outs how to have a podcast and what to
Gotcha.
do. and how to do it and how to make money from it, how to survive from it, how to brand it and market it. You know, because I feel like you can have people teaching classes, but if you got people coming in there from the grassroots of that have made it, that's gonna teach them better.
Yes,
Because
yes, most
my
definitely.
thing is to bring financial literacy to the black community, and what I mean by that is, you know, I feel like I believe in our young people, and I feel like sometimes parents, you know, they just stuck in their ways, and hey, we gonna make it somehow. But these kids, they learning, and I think if they learn, and you know, and my thing is to make business and intelligence and education cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like most people sit down and say, I want to show these kids, like these young people, like you want to see a real flex, you want to see a real stunt. You know, you might have guys that got 40, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 cash and all that. But what's their net worth? I
Yeah,
said, see, it's a difference. I said, they got money you can show. I'm going to teach you how to make silent money that you can't see, where you're going to have assets. You know what I'm saying? And teach them this is a bigger flex. A bigger flex is not only you own this beautiful house, you own several other properties. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you own this, you know, you own this nice car. You know, some people you have this nice car or whatever, whatnot. But let me show you how to get a fleet of cars that make you make money for you and have several businesses. You know what I'm saying? And not go out here and take penitentiary chances no more. Let me teach you the biggest cheat code that wasn't taught to us as black people. I read a book called Everything what white men tell their sons, and that book changed a lot for me because it made sense. Black men tell their sons, don't bring no baby in this house, don't get nobody pregnant, don't go to jail, don't do drugs, don't steal.
yeah.
You understand? Get a job, right? White men teach their son about the greatest cheat code ever made. Them 9 digits. You know what them 9 digits are?
What's that?
Your social security number. They teach them about credit, your social security number. They, you know, like they make jokes. We can walk around with 20,000 in our pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can pull out American Express that's unlimited. You get what I'm saying? They can go in the
Yeah,
bank and say, you know what? I want to buy this club. I want to buy this club, and they can go in that. They can go in that. They could go in that bank and get 200,000. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then
They teach
go to
them
another
wealth.
bank. Yeah, and they
Yeah,
get and go to another bank and get another 200,000, and then get 100,000 in credit cards, right? And take and constantly pay for the next 6 months. Pay it on time. Use it a little bit here and there. Pay it on time, and then their credit gonna go up, and they could go right back to that bank and go get another 200,000. And before you know it, they got $600,000, and now they just built three $600,000 houses that they're gonna sell for 600,000. And they how they got it because of they credit. You know what I'm saying? They might go do PG right now with their business in their LLC, but then afterward they ain't got to do that because then they got an income coming in. They got an income coming in on their business where now they're getting 400,000, 500,000 to do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? And then they lease cars. They don't buy them. They don't go stun and go pay 300,000 for a car that wants to drive off the lot is worth 200, and then within a
yeah,
year it's worth 100. You feel what I'm saying? So basically, they'll say, okay, I got a new 2026 Bentley. They're gonna lease it and write it off and use it for business. And then next year, they're gonna trade it in and get the 2027 and do the same thing over and over.
yeah. I
You
just started
understand?
looking into leasing now that you talk about it.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah,
or they go get a fleet. They go get 4 cars, 5 cars, and might get 2 of them might be Mercedes vans and you know what I'm saying, and then one might be the Maybach and all this other stuff, and them 2 vans or them 3 vans, and they get 4 cars. That Maybach they gonna ride for right that them three Mercedes vans they gonna do business, and that's gonna pay for everything else. You know what I'm saying? And then when those are paid out, because now they got this driving off, they can go get a loan. You know what I'm saying? Get a business loan and pay for that stuff out, and then now they got that paid for, and they can turn back around and say, you know what? I want to go get a fleet. I want to go get 10 of them now, and then I want to do 2 row with cars. I want to do this. I want to do Amazon Flex with my packages and different things like that. That all comes from financial literacy. That all
gotcha.
comes from understanding the cheat code. them 9 digits, your social security. When
Security
you go get
number.
them other 9 digits, that LLC number, which is 9 digits, and then and you know what I mean. And I want, because that's the way out of poverty for us. Learning financial literacy. It's not a package of drugs no more. It's not a hopeful hustle and making a few dollars just to get by. You got some people that have been working 20 years and they got direct deposit in their bank account, right? That is a money trail to show that you constantly put money in that bank. Now, if you got your credit together, they're gonna look at that money that you done put in there, and now you can go get the loan you want to start your business that you've been working for. Say you've been working for McDonald's all your damn life,
Mm-hmm.
right? That means you know how to run McDonald's, right? So if you got your business together and your money together and whatever, you know how to run McDonald's because you've been a manager. You could go in there now and go get your own loan, your own business loan, and open your own hamburger spot because you understand it. Or go get your own McDonald's. It's $200,000-$300,000 to get your own McDonald's, get your own franchise. You feel what I'm saying? And within a year, you can build yourself up to get to that type of money. And I want us to understand that, the cheat code. What white men teach their sons, they teach them about credit. And people say, well, they got a hand up. Not all white people come from money.
That's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? But some of them understand credit. I learned a lot of people with Katrina when Katrina happened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had money in the bank in New Orleans, but all the banks was closed. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the ones that had their credit cards and had what they needed,
Well,
they was able to.
you've been big on numbers since the life insurance, so
Yeah. So and that's, but I love it, though. I love, and that's why I tell kids, pay attention to your education in high school.
right.
And when I explain this to kids, they looking at me and then they like surprised. And I said, you know how important your education is. See them teachers you hate. I said, pay attention to them. I said, your whole life is about every class you take. And I break it down for them. I said, okay. I said, name a subject and I'll tell you how it relates to you being successful. And somebody will say biology. They'll be funny. I always say biology. And if it's a boy, I say, these youngsters now, I say, you like Lotto? And they like, yeah, she pretty, she fine. That's biology, anatomy. That's the body. I said, she got, her songs are nice, but you also see what? She look good. I said, in my day, females went crazy over 50 Cent. He took care of his body. That's anatomy. That's biology. His body was his market also.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask me about, and when they say reading in English, I say, okay, you want to be a rapper? Okay, what's the word recoupable mean? And they look at me and they tell me what it means. I say, see, if you didn't know, if you didn't pay attention and understand your definitions and your reading and your vocabulary, you wouldn't know the most important word in music and your contract is recoupable.
Cool.
Because they give
Yep.
you 100,000 and you see you made 200,000, 300,000. You're like, oh man, I got 300,000 coming. No, you don't. Number one, you
Okay.
got that 100,000 got to be taken out first. I see, and then that 300,000, well, the 200,000 they give you after you give them their 100,000 back off the three that they spent or whatever, would not. I said, that 200,000 now you in a whole another bracket. So guess what? You in a 33% back bracket. So that 200,000 ain't 200,000. That 200,000 is 140,000.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all about numbers. If somebody tell you I'm giving you 15%. So you need to know what that 15. They're getting 85. You need to know what that 15% is, and you learn that from numbers. So that's math. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody say geography, I say, okay, if I like Rod Wave and I can look and see he's selling more to women, females at this age and whatever, whatnot, and then this part of the world they loving him in this part of the world they loving him there. Why wouldn't I go put my music there where he's at if we got similar styles? That's geography. You get what I'm saying? So I try to
Yeah.
teach kids like how important your education is,
Gotcha.
and how far it go, So yeah, so that's where my mind at also. Besides making my mark, my thing is I want us to. I'm tired of black people having excuses. You can't blame it on the white man no more because we all could get an education. You could go to school. You got these phones. You can research. You can learn. You know, when I
Yeah.
wanted to learn financial literacy and different things that I wanted to learn about businesses and corporations, LLCs, every night before I go to sleep, and I still do it. I watch at least 3 videos on what's new in the credit, what's new in the LLCs and businesses, what's the newest business, what's the newest franchise. I learn and how to acquire that. So you got a phone now. You have no excuse for not learning anything. You know, and the white man can't stop you. You got to get away from that whole. The only way the white man got to stop you, because some of them, the racist ones on the justice system, don't go do a fucking crime, and you won't
Yeah.
be at their mercy. You feel what I'm saying? And then money makes it all the difference. See, that same white man that can say, I don't like the niggas, but they'll do business with you and make money with you. They might not invite you to the country club, but they'll go make $10 million with you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my thing is, I don't want black people no more to have excuses of why not to make it and why I gotta go sell drugs. No, you don't. No, you don't. You right now you got a car and you can run around to go drop off a package and take that penitentiary chance. You can go ahead on and get Amazon Flex, UPS, you name them. You know what I'm saying? And now you make it $3,000-4,000 a week. Not taking a
Yeah.
penitentiary chance.
Chance. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? I don't want my people to have excuses no more why they're doing bad. And I had to go to jail because I had to sell drugs. No, you ain't got to. You don't have to. You don't have to. Sit down. Just like you can learn this damn technology right now. You can learn how to start your business. Like right now, you can go to AI and make your own app, make your own, business app, your own website and everything. They do it all for you. If you're really a hustler, get your own business and make that money. We have no more excuses, and that's what I want to show our people. But I'm saying all that to say I want the young people, because the young people can come home and teach the parents. You know,
Yeah.
if they learn it and they doing it, they could come and say, Ma, I know you don't want to buy a house, because I've heard that with black people. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want to buy a house because you got to be responsible for fixing everything in it. True, but that's why you got insurance. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but see,
saying?
what people don't understand is when you build or fix up on your house, it appreciate value as what a car does not.
Yeah, exactly. And I have an old saying. You're right. You're so right. I gotta let them. I gotta say that to them too. When I've got some kids,
Yeah.
I gotta talk to them soon, and some parents. I'm definitely taking that and bringing that knowledge to them too. I good saying. But I tell people this. I say, why are you paying for somebody else's dream? And they say, what you mean? If you paying $1,700 rent, their mortgage is probably 14. So you
Yep.
paying for their dream. So they pay with the 14 and the other 3 is extra. So why would you not go? Why would you not go? Sometimes their mortgage might be 1,200 with that, including the taxes and the insurance.
Hmm.
So why won't you get yourself together and get that same house and pay that 1,200 and now you own it? And then as you build equity in it, you can borrow money off that to go get another property to pay for that property. You feel what I'm
That's
saying?
it. Yeah.
We gotta stop hating white people. Yeah, don't forget what has been happening in the past. Don't ever forget that, right?
Yeah.
But be aware. But study them, watch them, watch how they do. Talk with them. You get what I'm saying? Because they have their flex. Our flex be money and excuse my language, females and all that crazy stuff and being the baddest. You sit around with talking with them. I live across the street from a bar in up downtown New Orleans, a big time bar, and I used to sit in there and be quiet. They knew who I was, but I was sitting there and I would listen to them talk and be in a conversation and purposely ask something and they'll talk. And I remember a friend of mine, he told me, this white guy, he said, man, he drove this nice BMW, all this stuff, right? And this what got me on a financial journey, financial literacy journey, even more so, because I was one of them young dudes, I'm paying cash for everything. I hate myself to this day for buying a Benz for $110,000 cash. Dumbest
Gotcha.
thing ever. When I could have bought four, five different properties and got my Home Depot card and everything and fix each one of them up and flip them and doing everything. Things that I wasted money on that I definitely wouldn't do today. But I was talking to him and he was telling me, he was like, he said, man, he said, why y'all always have a bunch of money in y'all pocket? He turned around and he opened his wallet and he pulled out 5 cards. He said, "You see that car that I have right there, that apartment? All that I write that off. I pay that with my credit cards, and when I take one card to pay that card back." He said, "I don't. My cash is to pay my credit cards back." He said, "And pay them and keep them going and keep my credit going up and put it on my business, and I get my loans to go do all my other business." He was telling me, he was like, man, maybe making fun of my jeans or whatever, whatnot. And he was like, "Yeah, I got on a little simple polo and I got on some, you know, regular jeans and you know what I'm saying, and the tennis he had on or whatever, whatnot." And I said, "Yeah, I heard him." And he said, "But think about this." He said, "What's their net worth? They got on all of that $2,000 worth of clothes." You know what I'm saying? He said, "What's their net worth?" And that's when he started teaching me about net worth. He said, "So my value of borrowing, and they're gonna get it. My net worth is over $10 million. So I'll be able to borrow 10% of $10 million if I need it." He said, "Always try to build your net worth to know what your worthiness of borrowing or investment within you." He said, "People will look at your net worth to see, what you're worth, or you worth that investment." You know what I'm saying? So that's why I said, a lot of times, you know, instead of just having the hate towards white people, and or look at Jewish and Asian people, they
Yeah.
circulate their money at least 10, 20 times
Yeah.
within their community.
Community, yeah, within themselves.
So and they'll get together and put their money together. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And go get it. Except we see the difference is with us, man. We don't do collaboration we do competition over collaboration. Me and you
Yeah.
gonna always be in competition instead of collaborating and pooling our money together and do something special and something big to build generational wealth. So that's what I've been on a lot lately, man.
Willie Lynch.
There it is.
Yep,
There it
Willie
is.
Lynch.
The
Willie Lynch
willingness
syndrome.
syndrome.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I do want to also talk about your community works because you stepped into some real community works as well,
Mhm.
being part of one of the largest gun buyback programs in New Orleans. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
what pushed you to be involved in something like that, and what did that moment mean, to you beyond music?
It meant a lot, man, because my guy Randy Livingston, who was once the number one player in America basketball, uh, at LSU, and went on to the NBA. He came to me, and people wanted to do this gun buyback, and so we got involved with that, and which went well. Nobody, because they couldn't arrest nobody, turn in guns, couldn't check on nobody, and just get guns off the street.
Yeah.
And then so I did the free studio program because so many, the mindset that a lot of us made mistakes and put it in there that we was hustlers. So the mindset for drug, young people was like, I'm gonna sell drugs because that go with it. Like that's the rapper kid. I used to sell
Yeah.
drugs and
Yeah.
everything. So, my thing was I felt like I saw in our young men, I saw more. But I
Okay.
figured out now if you look at an animal, if they wanna catch a tiger in India, I've seen it done where they do these traps and they trap them and they fall down in this pit, right? They can't go nowhere. And they can feed them for a little while till they calm down and then they make them a pet or whatever, right? Now I'm not saying the same thing because you gotta watch what you say on when people hear it.
Mm.
So what I thought about is I said everybody wanna rap. And yeah, some of them that might be their destiny. But I also said it's something else inside of these young men. And so my thing was, if I get them off the street, everybody want to rap and it's free, and you know how people gonna think. Now this is where the mental thinking. I've always said I'm a thinker. You know what I'm saying? I always believe mentally I can put you in a box and you can't get out till I let you out. You know what I'm saying? And so my thing was, I'll get them in there, and the hours that they will be in there, they won't be on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that's and if I could get you in there, and they respect who I was, and they feel like this is my chance. Yeah, I wanted to put their music out, which I was doing, but the thing about it was I wanted to get to know them. because I knew it was something else inside of them more than being a gangster and rapping, right? And
Yeah.
so what I would do is I would sit down, say you one of them. I would sit down and we gonna do work, but then while we doing work, we gonna talk. And what I'm gonna find out, man, yeah, man, I want to do, yeah, I know how to, talk to people, man. I always want to be on the news. Well, I say my thing would have been to you, why don't you do a podcast? And then now it's like, man, I don't know about all that. I'm like, but that's what you want to do. And then I would test them like, okay, let's do a video, man, letting them know what's going on in the hood or something like that, right? I'm just using you as an example of what my
Mm-hmm.
mindset was. And then I find out, like, hey, you pretty good. You know what I'm saying, bro? Pretty good. Now what I'm gonna do is, you know, you can go take a class of journalism,
Yeah.
and that's gonna better you and get you there. Now guess what I just did? Not only is he coming to the studio and not being in the streets, he going to school now because I done showed him how much money you can make as a journalist. And you're gonna get your little fame out of it. So with a lot of dudes, I would come in there, man, and I remember, my proudest thing with a few of them was, I had one that he got mad because I used to hold him accountable. I used to say, you gonna open the studio before I get here. I get here at 9 o'clock. The studio should be open. All the equipment turned on. It better be clean. Sweep in here. If y'all didn't sweep the night before, make sure I don't come in here like that. And you be here when I come here at 9 o'clock. You better be, all that need to be done. Or if you got time at 10 o'clock, it's your time to come. I don't want you here at 10 o'clock. I want you at 9:45, no later than nine
Yeah,
forty-five.
boy.
Yeah, teaching them if they're going to get a job, it'll be on time. And so I remember one day, one of them, man, who was so talented, and I had to, I had to just stand my ground on it because you talking about young dudes that I had a box. I had a metal box. I was the only one with my gun out. They had to put their gun in a box right near me. It was no guns. I wouldn't allow you to have your guns on you, nothing, because nobody could come in anyway. Because I made sure when they made it, I had a big iron door that I could lock. So ain't nobody coming in there on you. And we had cameras around everything and stuff like that. You couldn't get in there unless we
Yeah.
let you in. Because I wanted them to feel safe,
Yeah.
and feel like they could let their guard down and enjoy. Be life, you young. And so he was mad because I told him, you late. Man, it's not 10 o'clock. My session started at 10. I said, you got here at 9:55. I said, so you late. I said, so you gonna lose an hour of your studio time. Let's give him 3 hours. And he sat behind me, and I just see him. I thought he was writing lyrics or whatever, whatnot. And he was like, you know what? I ain't even worrying about it. I'll be here tomorrow if I could come back. And he just dropped this piece of paper on the desk. That kid took and drew me sitting at the board working with him with a hammer, hitting me with a hammer. Now most people would have got mad, right? And been
Yeah.
tripping like, oh, man, I gotta watch myself. He talking about killing me. He drew it so perfect. When I saw him the next day, he was just looking at me, and I had, we had the boxing gloves. I had the gloves. He said, so I guess you mad at me. I said, nah. I said, I just wanted to mess with you. I said, you could draw like that? Man, that kid opened his backpack and his drawings. Bruh, you understand this, and I mean, gangster. He do it street. Man, you could have never told me this young kid was that good at that. And I got him to go take a what you call it, when you do the blueprint for houses, I forgot what it's called. And I connected him with somebody, a construction guy. And man, this kid lives in Atlanta, man, and he works for a construction company doing blueprints, man. Him
Doing
and his family.
blueprints.
Yeah,
Damn.
man.
See?
So, and I had another one that could cook, and we sat down and we laughed and talked. And I was like, "Well, you can't cook." So he passed by my apartment because I had a studio in my apartment downtown, and I was like, "Well, go to the store, get something, man." Man, you'd have thought this kid was a chef in the kitchen. And I'm like,
Damn.
dude,
Okay. You got a
you could
Gordon Ramsay.
go to school for that. Yeah, and I hooked him up in a restaurant down there, and that's what that kid do. You know what I'm saying? And do well for himself. And so, man, it was like my thing was to find out, and I had requirements. You got to go to school, you're in high school, or you got to go
Okay.
get your GED. or you got to have your little job. Hustling is not a job to me. Selling drugs not a job to me. You know, and I knew it worked, man, because I had all these kids in there. And the minute those people decided to get greedy and want to get grants off what I was doing, you know, I walked away from it. And then they had other alternatives, man. I came there one night and they had a guy that usually be around there, and it was 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and he got 10, 11-year-old kids in there running around. They smoking weed and everything, shirt off and all that stuff. And I went off like that.
Yeah.
You know, that ain't gonna happen. And so, you know, I end up, you know, moving on because of what they was doing. I knew he was getting grants off us and stuff like that. You know, and a week later, uh, two brothers that used to come in there that always was out there, they got killed on the same corner a block away. You know, I just felt like that wouldn't happen if I still had that program. You know what I'm saying? And then I had rival wards coming in there that was getting into it, and it wasn't none of that. They sit down. I found out one of the things that had a bunch of shootings. After sitting down with them, it was over a bag of weed, man, and a couple of people that lost their life. That it escalated, you know, to other stuff, and you know, and I just felt like, man, you know, and that was the reason why I did that and wanted to do that, because I just know I believe in our young people. Like, I don't like the YN thing. I put some up, man, cancel that. You know, if you
Yeah,
ever call,
I remember you said something about that, or I
yeah,
remember seeing it. Yeah,
yeah, call them young kings, man. Well, they gotta act like kings. I say they don't know how to be something that they're not told about. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I don't like that YN thing, bro. I hate that. I hate
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I had to get myself together with always saying the word nigga. You know what I'm saying? And like, if you ever around me and you don't know me, when I see you, I'm gonna say, "How you doing?" You know, you open up, we going past each other, move up, "Thank you, King." If you young, "Thank you, young King," or whatever. Or I'm like, "Hey, bro, God, I'm not the nigga thing now, man." You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
I'm trying to work on it
I'm trying.
myself.
It's hard. I was
Yeah.
on the radio this morning and I slipped up. So, you know, and but nah, man, I just feel like we gotta start, you know, because as adults we gotta get better. You know, I'm somebody, and right before you came, a little guy was, I said, "You getting it together?" I'm at a grocery store. When I get off here, I gotta go in the grocery store. And
Mhm.
he was like he putting the baskets up, and I was like, "You're doing your thing, huh, little man?" He was like, "Yeah." I said, "Don't put your head down, man. I'm proud of you." And
Yeah,
he looked up and he saw the smile on his face. He said, "I'm trying." I said, "Nah, you trying. You winning. You're not just trying." I said, "You could be doing the wrong things, man." I said, "Keep, you know, what you trying to do with yourself. I'm kind of go to college for this, that, and that. Okay, well, you can, you could go, you got grants you could get in, whatever, whatnot." And we have to start telling these young dudes they're doing the right thing. If they
yeah,
work at, I do this when I come to a drive-through at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, "Hey, bro, I'm proud of you, man." You want to be like, "What? What you mean?" I say, "Bro, you working. You're doing the right thing." And they whole attitude changed. You can tell they don't hear it at home, and it's like, I tell young ladies that too. I'm proud of you, young lady. Do your thing. It doesn't hurt to put life into our kids. All we want to do is sit around and say, "Look at them YNs," or "They ain't gonna be worth nothing. They ain't gonna be this and that." Because what are you building? My thing also was, if I could change that little dude, right, that little guy, that could be the little guy that might rob and kill my wife, rob and kill my kid. You know what I'm saying? One day. So
yeah,
why not breathe life into these kids? Let them know it's okay if you working at McDonald's, bro. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? You working, you trying. Now what's your plan? What you trying to do? And I always ask them that after I tell them that. What you trying to do, man? Oh man, and they so different now, man. I'm really proud of them. They be like, "Man, I want to start my own business." Okay, well, what's stopping you? Trying to figure it out. I said, "Okay, you be on social media?" "Yeah." "Spend a lot of time?" "Yeah." I said, "Go to YouTube and look up starting a business and learn. Go learn how to get your LLC. Learn how to open your business bank account. You can promote yourself on here and promote crazy videos. You can promote your business. You know what I'm saying? And learn about getting your credit together and being able to do the things you need to do. You have to wait for everybody to do something for you. The knowledge is there. And you'd be surprised how happy they be and run across them again. And they like, "Man, I got my LLC and I got the name. I got my logo done. I used the app to do it." they got all the potential, but we have to sometimes give them. We got to give them some push, and then we have to get a knowledge. You know what I'm saying? If someone see me sometime, oh man, how you got that? I got this. And you living like that? What you do? I don't even tell them rap. I say I got businesses. If they too young to know who I am, I got businesses. This is what kind of business you got, man. I was thinking about this. Why don't you do it? And they'd be surprised to have somebody talk to them and explain to them. Okay, let me tell you what you do. I keep on my notes. I keep a thing how to start a business. I keep it so when I tell them, I say, let me text you something. This what you go do how to start your business. And you'd be surprised, man. These kids don't always want to just be thugs, man. They don't have nobody. They don't have nobody giving life to them, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Well, see, they have the tools that they would need in order to be successful or to know, okay, I can start an LLC, I can start a business, I can do this. I just feel like they lack a lot of drive. I don't think they have the same drive that we had when we were kids.
Because we don't have enough of us making it look cool. Like that's what I like about Rollo when he got out of Atlanta. All he was showing. That's why I hate when he get on and he talk beef now when he got issues with people. Like, no, bro, when you first came home, you know what you was showing everybody? How you building houses.
Yeah, he's building houses and stuff like that.
You was talking about your credit and business credit. Make it look cool, dog. Make being a businessman and having financial literacy and knowing, make it cool. Show that's the real flex. This how I got this. Yeah, I sold some records, but nah, that ain't how I got all this. You know what I'm saying? That ain't how I got this business and that business. I got it because I did with everybody else that I pimped the white people that I pimped the banking system. I hustled the banking system and got the money I needed to start my business or to get this house, to flip this house. And I try to employ and more tell a lot of black businessmen, bro, you need it. Stop waiting for a rapper and athlete to come in the hood. No, we need you black accountants. Show them how you got this big house. Show them how you got this Bentley. Show them how you got this. Why you wearing Louis Vuitton and everything else? You ain't doing it on some gangster street hustle. No, bro, you accountant, a black accountant. You a black tax accountant. You know what I'm saying? You do real estate. Show them how, make it look cool. Make that the flex. Because you know with us as a culture, if we make something cool, you get what I'm saying? Everybody gonna do it. That's where we lacking at. We don't have enough people saying, "Hey, bro." Even that's why I love people like Shaq, and LeBron. Like LeBron put all these guys on, but he put them in business aspects to build and build and build, right? But I like Shaq and I like Magic Johnson because you know what they sit down and say? They'll tell you, I own 300 businesses. Shaq owned people trademarking their names. Marilyn Monroe. You can't sell nothing without paying Shaq. Shaq owned Reebok. You know what I'm saying? That's a flex. We need to show them that this is cool. This gangster, bro. This guy, some of the biggest gangsters. People always talk about the music business. Jewish. I put up a video one day, and a Jewish guy broke everything down. He said, "You buy that $200 shirt. I own the company that print that shirt up."
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You rent that $10,000 a month penthouse. I own the building that and the construction company that built it. And that's what I tell a lot of young artists. My fault, I didn't mean to cut you off. I tell a lot of young artists, I say, you got a choice, bro. I said, would you want to get paid $30,000 to perform in a club? I'm like, hell yeah, sir. I said, nah, I'd rather have 300,000 and own the club. See, because I could pay you that 30,000, and guess what I'm gonna make that night? 300,000 off you. So you got a choice. You want to get paid 30,000, or you want to own the club, or you want to be the one to pay somebody 30 to make 300.
And see, I think, and to add to what you were saying, that's the thing. Like with Shaq was, You remember when Shaq had Shaq has the shoes that
Yeah.
they were selling in Walmart.
Yeah, people
And
laugh.
people was laughing. And it was like, oh, you got Shaq shoes or whatever, and they wanted Jordans. But I'm like, Jordan is making money off of you. But Shaq owns the company that makes those shoes.
Jordan get a percentage. Shaq own and make the shoes, and he own the whole company. And it's another thing too. See, that's another thing, teaching our young people about necessity businesses, right? And I'm gonna ask you a question, so everybody can see this on the interview.
Okay.
Why is Uber so big?
I personally feel,
include Uber Eats and everything.
I just think we've gotten to a lack of laziness to me. So
man, I'm gonna tell you something. You destined to make millions. You're the only person ever, and I've asked that question to big people, to all types of people. America is lazy.
Yeah.
Uber is a necessity business, and that's what I tell young people. But get a necessity business, and how I explained to them. I said, think about this. I said, COVID happened. You couldn't go in a restaurant, right? Couldn't really go in stores like talking about it, but you could here and there. This is how lazy America is. People come home from working. They don't feel like going through a drive-through. They don't feel like cooking. They don't want to get out and go in the store. Lazy, right? So they're going to pay a whole stranger that could be digging in their ass or whatever and to get their food.
Yeah.
Lazy. Okay.
Yeah.
When you like, man, I don't want to pay for parking. You know what I'm saying? And I and I don't want to drive my car down there. Now you're going to pay somebody else to drop you off. Necessity businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in America, you're right. You the only person got it, bro. Laziness. America is lazy. So why not make money off them? Why not find a business that people need? Like I forgot to mention, I have another business called On-Call Services for You, a personal concierge. And I always say that word wrong, but people always love with rappers and athletes. They got assistants. Well, I have a business that is starting to thrive and do well. Where I got with my son in Houston. He's in Houston doing it, and I do it personally myself. You know what I'm saying? Where you might call me, I'll bring your car to go get service. You ain't got to do it. They lazy. People lazy. They'll pay me to do it, bring their car back, get their car washed. I bring it to a car wash. It's in the fee. I ain't got to wash it. You know what I'm saying? Help somebody else. I've even brought up a kid's, a lady's son computer all the way across town, $75. He left it from at home. You know what I'm saying? I go and pick up different things or whatever, whatnot. Business documents and all types of stuff, man. It's called On-Call Services for You. And I got after the dog, our dog, sugar courier services. We do all types of we do all your runs and your errands. You feel what I'm saying? Even get to the point that if you need me to drop your kid off somewhere, same, we do it. Because people tend to be lazy. They'll rather pay. I don't feel like going to drop my car off to go get an oil change. Okay, I'm gonna charge you this to go drop it off, and if you want it washed, we're gonna add that price and we're gonna bring it back. And I'm gonna lease. I'm gonna lease it out and let somebody else wash it, or bring it through the car wash for $10. But I'm gonna charge you 25 to 30 for adding the car wash to it. I'm not gonna do it. The car wash gonna do it, and I'm gonna bring your car back. You know what I'm saying? If you want it filled up or whatever, we're gonna add that part of the service too. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you're gonna rent me for an hour for $150 to do all these different things. Now, and within that hour, I might have 4 clients. That's $600, and all I did was drive.
See, I think people had a misconception of how to use those services. Like if you had your own business, or if you were had a career, or you were in a position where your time was not there, and you needed to use the services for that would be one thing. But if you just using the services because you just like, I don't feel like it, then I feel like you're being lazy at that point. It's the same reason why people, when they go to the grocery store or go to the store, and instead of them parking out. Like if you go to Walmart, instead of people parking out and then actually walking to the damn store, they be
Like I'm way out now, and I use it as exercise. I'm out there, and I know I need to lose some damn weight. So I walk. I can show you right now on the phone. Walmart way over here. You know
yeah,
what I'm
see,
saying? But people, and or when they get in Walmart and they get on the little scooter,
yeah.
walk your ass around that store, man. You know what I'm saying? And even another thing too, where they don't want to go to the store and they pay for DoorDash and all that other stuff, Instacart.
Oh yeah,
See, those are necessity businesses. And that's
yeah.
why I say a lot of black people do not complain. Stop complaining that you can't get your money and pay your bills. If you got a code at work and you could get your ass to the club, you know what I'm saying? You could get your ass up and do some Instacart or some Amazon package drop and make that money, and you're your own business. You're a boss.
Yeah.
You
You're
know,
absolutely right.
and so I think that's what we don't see. We have the drive as black people, bro. We
Yeah.
have when it suits us. You know what I'm saying? Like we won't go vote, but we can stand in line for some new Jordans. But then we complain about who we vote for.
Priorities fucked up. But
Yeah.
and I know that's not for everybody, so I don't want anybody to hear this and see this.
No,
And
no, no.
just
I'm not saying all black people. I'm saying
yeah.
we can be so much better in better situations. I'll give you something that people don't want to hear. All they got to do is look it up. And I'm not using this person as a good person when I say what that person said. Adolf Hitler. And because he was just a terrible man to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was just terrible, man. That just what he was doing was just it's just bad. But he once said something. He said, talking about the West, America, he said, America has God's greatest crown jewel. The greatest crown jewel. He was talking about black people. He was saying America, make America strong, is they have God's greatest crown jewel. Black people. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really understand when people try to say, y'all the chosen race, and you might say, well, why it's so bad for us? Why you think and when people keep good things down? Why? Because they know one day those good things, those in the Bible, like I said, those, and I said it on the verse, those who start up last end up first. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what we have to understand. We are the culture of the world, bro. And I'm gonna give you an example. And this for all our people out there listening, black people. Do you know how we are the culture of the world? I'm gonna show you a point. Pac said Pac drank Hennessy. Hennessy became $1 billion company. If we wear it, the world wear it. Versace didn't make his clothes for black men. He didn't like black people. But we made Versace fucking famous, right?
Mm-hmm.
We made his clothes, made him millions, right? If we drive it, the world drive it. If we buy it, the world buy it. If we wear it, and we say it. You feel what I'm saying? Puffy. And, I know people don't like Puff right now. So I'm not. Now, you got to really think about this. When he, with the liquor he had, nobody knew about that bullshit.
What do you have? Ciroc, right?
Yeah. And once he started, I'll do it better than this, Lil Jon. Black people wasn't drinking tequila. Lil Jon started to Jose Cuervo. Look, everybody drank tequila, and it started from Lil Jon with the Jose Cuervo. You feel what I'm saying? You got to think about that. Like, what's the one, Belvedere? After the Belvedere is probably Chris. Jay-Z was smart enough to understand. Belvedere been around. Look at how long it's been around. And then when he realized how they was playing, the disrespect of black people, Jay stopped drinking Belvedere. And even Cristal, how they act funny, he got rid of Cristal, but we made it famous. If we wear it, the world wears it, bro. Some of them Balenciaga tennis shoes, they look ugly, man. Them things look like orthopedic shoes. but we make it better. Louis Vuitton. I remember being in the military and going to the Louis Vuitton and Gucci place and watching. I got luggage when I was in the military. I bought. At the time, I didn't have a girlfriend, so my cousin, I used to send her back Louis Vuitton luggage. She's like, "What is this?" She still got it to this day. And I'm talking about huge Louis bags, Jimmy Choo's shoes in Spain, all that shit, man, $15, $20. We
I
buy it
got
for 400-500 over here. You know
Uncle
what I'm
Jimmy
saying?
Choo. I got that
We make
cologne.
it. Yep, I do too. So think about this. We are the culture of the world, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, Cash Money, perfect example. Yeah, people was wearing jewelry, right? They took it to a whole nother level. Think about what all the jewelers and the diamond makers and what they did once Cash Money did bling bling. Think about Rolls Royces were only selling 3,000 Rolls Royces in the United States. Go look it up. When Cash Money came out with the cars and the stunt in the blue Rolls Royces, Rolls Royce sells so many cars. Rappers buy Ferraris. Why did all that went up? They make cars, the fitters, and if you think I'm lying, go look up this. Now look at this. When you go get a SUV, you get what? You got wood grain in the dash, right? Got
Yeah.
a TV basically sitting in the middle, right? And it come on 23s, 24s, 25s, 28s, right? Who said that in the song? I got a Hummer sitting on 32s, wood grain TVs in the dash. Cash Money.
Yeah.
We don't own a car manufacturer or a car dealership. But think about how much money was made by GMAC and all them by putting wood grain in the dash, sitting the car on 26s, 27s, and got TVs in the dash. Think about that. That song, that's what changed how they did it. We said it, we made it popular. You know, you got to really think about flying G4s and private flights. That was Cash Money.
Yeah.
Flying in helicopters, candy coated helicopters. People start buying G4s. People start Jay-Z talking about the private port, the clear port. People start buying that was a flex. Get a private plane, fly private. We did that. We was being done, but once we start talking about it, wearing it, doing it. Man, Cash Money had niggas that the best well dressed motherfuckers in the world wearing white tees. Think
I
about how much money
know.
white tees was wearing, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
You get what I'm
look,
saying?
Soldier Slim helped Reeboks with
Reebok,
yeah.
exactly. And we gonna get that Shaq real soon to make it right with his mama. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Nigga, let's be real.
Yeah.
I remember was drinking E&J, man, when I was growing up. That's the brown that we was drinking.
Yeah,
Niggas start drinking Hennessy, man.
yeah, that old Erky jerk.
There it is. That easy
Yeah.
Jesus, that Uncle jerk. And then you got to think about, okay, when Jay them come along and they drinking Louis the 14th. Well, they ain't know nothing about that, man. Look at right now, buying 1942 the tequila. Lil Jon and I remember the Patriots and the Rams in the Super Bowl. Lil Jon and I made a bet who will win. The loser got to buy the other one a half a gallon of Jose Cuervo, and I won.
You
So
want
he had to buy me half a gallon, and I was so happy. But we started that, man. Black people wasn't drinking no damn tequila.
Yeah.
If you ain't never traveled the world, you ain't never knew about no damn tequila till Lil Jon started talking about it. And look at tequila. Look at all of the sales went up.
I'm pretty sure E40 probably boosted Seagram's gin
Oh hell yeah!
when he
And
said
Snoop,
bumpy face.
yeah,
Yeah.
E40 and Snoop, gin and juice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, E40 definitely. You feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So you got to really sit down and think about what we do. Look at all these hot foods like hot Cheetos and all that. That's because our black kids eat all that stuff, and it goes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We are the culture of the world, my bro. When we realize that, man, the power was just like that man said. Even though he was an evil man, the West got God's greatest Jews, the black people.
Yeah.
That's why they always want to keep us down. Don't want us to be educated. They don't want us to understand the cheat code. You get one. That's why they don't want us to live in in their neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? They don't want that. They don't want us in the because they understand once they realize it. When they figure it out, it's gonna be a problem. When we all figure it out, it's gonna be a problem. But we are
Yeah.
the culture of the world. I mean, look at here. Look at all these beauty supply stores, and we don't own none of them. But look all that. Who got
We
everybody else wearing extensions and hair and all this stuff. BBLs, bro. Come on.
yeah.
Black women they born built like stallions.
Yeah.
Now you got white people going get BBLs, all types of stuff, getting calf muscles and everything. to be built like us. Look at the fact a thick white girl, white dudes just call them pigs. And once black men start saying, man, she fine. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, white men will be with a thick white girl. You feel what I'm saying? See, again, that's us. What we do and how we move the needle. And if you look at white girls at one time, they was ashamed to have a butt. You know, have some ass and whatever, whatnot, and having thick thighs and whatever. Shit, not no more, because they wanted to be
Yeah.
built like black women. Well, look at the reverse. Our black women getting skinny as all outdoors, and I can understand health and wealth, because
Yeah.
having all that, I can understand that. But a lot of them go too far. Look at a lot of black stars that's in Hollywood. How slim they are and how small they are won't be a size two waist. Where now, and that's like show your they even changed the name for white women. What are they called now? What it not be your BBWs? You know what I'm saying? And I forgot what it is. Where now they have it's BBW. So now they for thick beautiful white women that are beautiful that are models. Model used to be 0 to 2 waist. Now you have
Hmm.
full size models. Who is that after? And
Black women.
people don't know who Sandra Buckman or Beckman. I forgot her name the right way. You know what I'm saying? Who in England they used to have her in a cage to show off because she had a big behind.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you're talking
I
about.
forgot her name, Sandra. You know what I'm saying? And just to show you how amazed they were by a black woman's body. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if we do it, they do it. You get what I'm saying? We just have to learn. Like, okay, go ahead and create your thing, man. You know what I'm saying? The world gonna follow. Just create it and do it. Because that's why I think a lot has changed. Also, even with rap, right? If you really look at it, when all the tight jean thing came, right?
Sarah Bartman.
Sarah Baldwin, that's it. I was
Yeah.
saying Sean before.
Yeah,
But
Sarah
if
Bartman. But
you
go
look
ahead.
at how rap changed, right? Okay, and people can laugh with Snoop, and he said, "Man, look, when the chronic came, everybody stopped. They stopped doing crack. They started smoking weed." I ain't laughed. Hey, that's possibility. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
what I'm saying to you is, look at rap, right? Let me show you how we flip flop.
Okay.
White kids was trying to be like black kids, want to be wiggers, want to rap, right?
Hmm.
Look at the face. Look at it now. Our kids on pills. White people pop pills,
Yeah.
Percocets, and all that other stuff. Tight jeans. Don't get their hair cut. You know what I'm saying? They'll buy some $800 ugly Louis Vuitton shirt. Don't match their tennis shoes. Jeans. Don't get their hair cut. Black kids don't even get their hair cut like they used to. Every week we used to go to the barber. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody in the hood was cutting hair. And you look at rappers now, they walking around and they try to call it modeling. Be around there with some big old pants or a skirt on and all this other stuff. That was punk rockers. Rappers look like that now. Rappers wear all the tight stuff and crazy space boots, man, and all this other stuff. That's model, that's a wave, that's a vibe.
But see now, but like now stores have it damn near where everything is like skinny jeans
Yeah,
and shit.
because we started wearing it. White people was always wearing them. That's just like music. They talk about us with gangster. Yeah, that's why I try to do what I do because I was part of the problem, be part of the solution. But you know what's so funny? You ever listen to punk rock music, that metal music?
Well, I mean, the closest I got to any of that was grunge, but I do listen to some rock and roll here and there. It
They got a
depends on.
lot of violence in it, dog. They fight
Oh
in
hell
there.
yeah,
They do it all. Country songs. Johnny Cash song, "How to Kill a Man." Today I killed a man.
yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But and then they try to say we the reason, rappers the reason. And I tell people this, I said, we didn't help because so many black kids didn't have a father. And we became their role models, the music we was doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, a rapper should never be a child's role model.
Okay.
His parents should be his hero. You know what I'm saying? And so, and don't get me wrong, we did put in we didn't know in the beginning. We didn't know we were just doing music. and talk about what going on in our areas of the city. We didn't know we was gonna become like I want to be like him, and I'm gonna act like him, dress like him, be him, and when he said in the song, that's how I'm doing it. But we didn't bring drugs and guns into the community. We didn't bring alcohol into the community. And I always felt like we didn't be parents because a lot of times a lot of us didn't have parents, so we didn't know how to be a parent. We didn't know how. Some of these parents they didn't know how to go in your child's room, like with these video games. Go see what your child playing. Go look at what game he playing. Go listen to what music. If your child in there listening to somebody talking about I'm killing this, killing that, killing this, man, come here. Let me holler at you for a minute. I even showed my daughter, and I won't say the rapper name that she loves, right? And we was on our COVID tour, and they happened to come to our show when we got to that city. And my daughter couldn't breathe when she saw him, right? And so he came up and he was respectful, and he took a picture and everything. And so my daughter get in the car and she said, "Dad, you always on me about certain stuff." But I used to tell her, I said, "Baby, don't let that music fool you. Listen to the music, it's cool. That's what you like, but that ain't a way of life of it." I said, that rapper not even like that. Dad, he hard. He gangster. She met him and they was around there talking about biology and science because science was one of her favorite and showing her stuff on the phone and everything. And she was like, "Dad, he really nice and he really intelligent." I said, "Yeah, that's his persona of rap and that's how he's doing what he's doing." You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you got to explain to your kids and know what's going on with your kids and don't let a rapper raise your child. You know what I'm saying? And that's the way I say it. Make it that it's enjoyment, it's music. Listen to the beat. Okay, you listen to the lyrics. He nice. Okay, understand. But that ain't your life. That ain't who you are. That ain't what you're doing. And more than likely, 24/7, he ain't gangster. I promise you.
Yeah.
He ain't gangster when his kids around. He the nicest person in the world. His mama around. He the nicest person in the world. Don't let that fool you. You know what I'm saying? But I just think we flip flop though. Our young generation of rappers, they seem like they do white kid stuff, where white kids doing black kid stuff.
I can see that.
Think
No, but
about it.
I appreciate the community works that you have done
Yeah,
and continuing to do. Like I do really appreciate that because it
I
does
got
show.
to, bro. I got to, bro. I can't stand by, and I get it from my late mama, because she was the type, man. I would come home, bro, and go by a house,
Hmm.
and there's a dude sitting on the steps one day, little dude, and it was like, "What you want, man?" I'm like, "Man, you might want to move off these steps." And the homie pulled his shirt up and had one of them on him. And I'm like, "You sure that's what you know what I'm saying, you want to do?" Door opened up, my mama was like, "Hey," it was like, "Granny D, you know him?" She said, "That's my son, that's Mr. Serv-On." "Oh, I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry." And he was like, "Man, we just don't let people sit on our steps." They was the worst of the worst in that neighborhood, but she fed him and she always was there for him. She would call me and say, "I need $1,000 for this." And I'm like, "Mama, for what?" This one I went to jail. And she's trying to get a lawyer and bail money. So I guess I got it from my mother where I just always want to help. Because
Gotcha.
she always used to say, you know, these young boys, they just need a little love. They need somebody to know, somebody care about them and love them and care about, and it take a while for them to trust you. But once they trust you, they're going to be all right. And I think that's why I do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like that, man, because I just feel like I'm not giving up on them. I'll tell people, "Man, sir, if you wasting your time." I'm like, "Man, I'm not giving up on them. I ain't giving up on them.
Yeah,
I
I don't
can't."
think you're wasting your time because I mean, even if you're able to save one,
And wanna teach too.
yeah,
Because I always ask when I help a young man in things, I say, "You know what you owe me?" I say, "You get right. I need you to take somebody under your wing, or maybe two." You know what I'm saying? And just try to spread it, man. But a lot of people, black people, man, I'm sad to say something. They be thinking these kids are a waste. Like, man, they gone. They can't be helped. Because my
Yeah.
new thing right now, I'm mad about all the fighting females. I'm tired of seeing them videos, bro. I'm tired of seeing grown women half dressed fighting, getting their clothes tore off on each other. I'm just like, it's more women fighting on now, you know, and I'll say it, and you make sure you can put it out there. I feel like, what's her name that started loving hip hop and all that? What is her name? I always forget her name. Oh God, I forget her name. She rich now. The black lady that put all that love in hip hop when girls jumping all across the desk, basketball wives jumping all across desks and throwing champagne glasses and fighting and all that stuff. I feel like they talk about rap. That was more detrimental to our negatively to our young girls because they always watch
Yeah.
TV. What's up, damn that? Oh God damn it, man. They loving hip hop. I'm not mad at entrepreneurship, but I felt like that was the comparisons of gangster rap coming to the hood because all our young girls, all they did was all they do is fight now.
So Mona Scott Young is who
There it
started.
is. There it
Yeah.
is. There it is. And I respect I respect Queen for your business, but those shows are detrimental on how our young girls act today.
Yeah.
You know, in basketball wives, and I'm not Shawnee O'Neal, no disrespect, but that teaches our females also that it's okay to be a side chick. It's glorify that, yeah, she messed with this basketball player, but he got a wife or he got a girlfriend, but she getting the clothes, the money, and all that. Like it's okay. Just get the
Yeah.
money. Let somebody use your body up and knock you down every once in a while, put me off and give you some money and treat you like a side chick, and you never be on his own. You can always be in the hotel or whatever. And the thing is, I got money though. I got the bag.
Yeah.
So now you're gonna have those women having daughters teaching their daughters how to grow up.
Yeah.
So I we not perfect. We got a lot to fix. But I just feel like right now I'm more concerned. We used to be concerned about our young men. I'm concerned about our young ladies.
Yeah, I said I'm concerned about both and shit because right
Yeah,
now,
about both.
because
But
no, I'm just saying like as far as
no,
like when you talk about the industry and music involved, it's like the rap is almost damn near prostitution for the women,
yeah.
like prostitution rap, and then I don't know, it's like some of the guys just don't have no damn hope.
I'm gonna show you a point, right? Why I be so concerned even more so. When crack hit our neighborhoods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And dudes end up either going to jail, dying, or hooked on it, right?
85.
You know what? You know who kept the family together?
It was mainly grannies back then, wasn't it?
But it was grannies. But then you had, say, the younger generation. You had black women, right?
Okay.
And so, and once that black man got himself together, that young black man got himself together, that's who held the family together because they were strong. I always believe a woman is God's gift to a man's desires and completion in life. They are strength. They the earth to me. And now I felt like they did everything. They put drugs, they hit us with drugs, alcohol, everything, even some music. They did everything to break us. But look how young men, they going to school. Look, you got shows, all these other, they're doing their thing. So you basically made it through. You know what I'm saying? But it was always the nurturing of a woman, a black woman. So my thing is, they did everything to beat us, and we still here to break us, right? As men. And a lot of times it was because that was that woman. That was that woman that was there. I feel like I just feel it might sound crazy. I feel like they didn't thought about something. If I get these females and break them, it's over. The village, we supposed to
Yeah,
protect the village, but who nurtures the village?
the women.
And
Yeah.
if you break them and you make them out there to be going to jail, on drugs, disrespecting themselves, then what the village got, it's over. So I
Yeah.
think that's why you see so much more lean when you look at rap artists right now. Who are the biggest rap artists? Females.
Yeah, right
Look
now
how
it's
big.
the yeah,
Look how
right now
big.
it's the right now it's the females.
Look at Lotto, as big as she is, and now she's performing pregnant with a whole stomach out. You know, she had an album coming in. Her thing was saying everybody was on her about, okay, she having a baby for such and such, and which I was wrong. They was wrong for doing that, and he's supposed to, I don't know, they business or whatever. But I'm saying like the biggest artist is females, the Cardi
Yeah.
B's, the Sexy
Yeah.
Reds. You know what I'm saying? They the biggest females, and let's be real, it's all sexual. So
Yeah.
our little girls are watching who? And
Yeah.
and
I mean, it's like now, like it's weird because women, when it wasn't like a sexual thing with female rappers, if they was pregnant, they was like, no, you can't perform
and you
pregnant.
can't and you won't even see them when they're pregnant.
Yeah, look,
They come out and say, yeah,
I interviewed China White, and that was the situation. You know what? She was with Lil Jon. Was once she got pregnant,
and I feel that's the lost her momentum in her career. Not lost it, because when she went off the scene and had a baby for and was gone for a while. Well,
yeah.
I think lyrically she is a dog, my dog.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think the industry missed one of the greatest. Because
Yeah.
she was killing it with Lil Jon, and I think that took away. It was, what I'm saying, it is like she jumped off the scene. Now, if it was today's and she was pregnant, still working, still out there, still killing the mic and whatever, her career would be just sky high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That
man,
definitely killed the momentum.
yeah. But if you look at it, man, female artists are the biggest right now. Look at Sexy Red took the industry by storm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of young girls, they followed that whole persona. You know what I'm saying? The days of Mia's and even Gangsta Boo, God bless his soul, was hard, but it,
Oh
it
yeah.
wasn't it wasn't wrong. It wasn't out there like that. You feel what I'm saying? The Brad and all of them, man, the Mia's, the Queen Latifahs, and all them. You know what I mean? The Trinas, even though Trina
Yeah. Sugar
sexy as can
teas.
be, but Trina, yeah, yeah, but Trina wasn't out there just like suck 'em, you know what I'm saying, and be a whole, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't none of that, and so it's a whole difference now. And so all these young girls want to be like these female rappers, just like the young boys used to want to be like us. And when we was pushing the gangster stuff, you feel what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
I feel like look how big some of these female rappers are now. They got money behind them, big budgets, same way we did. And what are they pushing? They pushing all that over sexual stuff. That's just their lyrics. We can't be mad at them because we did it. You know what I'm saying? And so, now you got our young girls that's out here, you know, a lot of lesbian stuff going on because they pushed it in them songs. It's
Yeah.
like it's a lot, man, and I just think that the village is being broken in many ways now.
Yeah.
If they're not jailing us, who's supposed to be the protectors of the village. Now women is becoming want to be more than a man. You know what I'm saying? They want to be more man than the man. You get what I'm saying? And they're telling them,
Yeah.
hey, you gotta be independent. It used to be a woman would say, I want to build you up. I want to get you there. I'm gonna hold you down till you get on your feet. Now it's like, nigga, you ain't got nothing for me. The UPS guy that work a 9 to 5, you ain't for me. But I'm gonna take old boy over here who a drug dealer or whatever would not, and he's slinging a bunch of money, but treating you and making your side broad and everything else. When that UPS guy, that was a guy that was coming home every day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He ain't good enough now. You know what I'm saying? You
It's
gotta.
chipping away, man. They're chipping away at us, man, little by little.
Yeah. Oh, they killing us, man. It's a black man right now. It's not even about drugs on us no more, and jail on us no more. Man, they bringing us down our masculinity. Trying to say one out of every five men are on a down low, and you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, we don't have a chance to and be independent. You don't need a man no more. You know what I'm saying? And it's like go date another man out, and they say, well, black men date other women out their race. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bro,
You
it's
you know that I think it was a post you put up. I don't know if it was a post or a story, but it was about what 50 Cent just did recently in Shreveport.
mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any. The only time I've seen, I can't remember exactly what he did, but I just know you put up the post because you was like, nobody was talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, because what happened was he's out there doing what he's doing, and so he was giving a lot of money to charitables and situations or whatever, and that people wasn't like just being like, hey man, he giving, doing this and that. Then because he was friends with the Governor Jim Crow Landry, that's what I call him. You know what I'm saying? Who against black people? Oh man, he a dog.
Oh,
He
I
he
know.
got a law. He got a law now, bro. You go to jail in New Orleans, though. They doing fair time like you doing like the feds do. You got to serve 85%. Ain't no parole. Ain't no probation.
Damn.
He got that. He got that passed. You go to jail now, and then they're gonna try your 14-year-old or 15-year-old as an adult. So
Yeah, Landry.
so people were like, he friends with him, but I said, y'all gotta understand the cost of doing business. He's bringing a major business there, and so that's how white people do it all the time. That's why they give big contributions to presidents and whatever, and those presidents got earmarks. You know what I'm saying? They got to pay that back. They might say, I'm gonna give you this $1 million for your campaign, and then it's time to pay the piper. Okay, I'm about to build this big old data center. You got to make sure that go through. You got to pay me back that. I got you in office. So a lot of times you have to grease their palms and deal with them. And it was a black councilman out there in Shreveport that really was going on record and going at him. And I'm like, let's be real. If you know Shreveport is, people can say New Orleans gangster. Shreveport is not nice. It's Crips, it's Bloods. Shreveport is gangster, homie.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, they got dead out there, man. And so,
Yeah. I stayed up there. I stayed there before.
This man bringing jobs in there. He bringing that out there, and it's like, why are we so hard on us but don't say nothing to the others? And that's why I was saying that, like, people was like, yeah, he won't be friends with the governor. Man, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Let's be totally honest, man. Some of these companies we go spend money with, they owned by racists. Some of the clothes we wear owned by racists. You know what I'm saying? Some of the food we eat at certain places are owned by racists. So we dealing with them too, everyday people.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what cost of business when you're doing something that big. That's the governor of the state. You know what I'm saying? He playing the game with him.
But why we never show the positive aspects of things?
Because negativity sells. Negativity in social media. Let's think about it. Me and you I'm gonna show you a point. We was talking about financial literacy. I got a song coming out called Diamonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And on this next album, and I said it on the song, you know what I'm saying? If I'm talking about murder and drugs, you know what I'm saying, y'all hear me. If I'm talking trade lines and LLCs, y'all don't hear me or see me. Because everything we talked about, people be listening to that. Yeah, whatever. Now, when I get on there and talk about, anything that we might have talked about on some gangster stuff or some mess,
mm-hmm.
I bet you the views be more. And that's what it is, dog. We positive. It's like my mama used to always tell me, it's easy to smile. She said, why make it easy? Why not make it easy to smile, but make it so easy to hate? When you should be making it easier to smile and harder to hate.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So that's why negativity, and I feel a lot of people don't have a lot of things going in their life, so they just sit around and they love mess. That's why social media is so big. They knew it would control us. They said it and control the masses. It's like they say rap was controlling the masses. Now social media do. It's the gift and the curse. So, and that's the thing with us as black people. I put a post where they showed a high school where the whole high school went to college. They all got college scholarships, over $2-3 million worth of scholarships. I mean, more than that. Yeah. Nobody was posting that.
Yeah, I did see that too.
But if I post, but guarantee when I post the other day when I was talking about Gucci and
Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, some people got mad at me when I said, why y'all cheering this on? You know what I'm saying? Because Pooh Shiesty went to jail. Young man came home and came home with his cars, his houses, a bunch of money, more money to do music or whatever. Would not. Now he gonna end up going back. The other little guy, Big 30, now he gone. His career is gone. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And then y'all, y'all talking about Gucci and this, that, and that. The old Gucci, see, y'all want the old Gucci to come back. That man got a family and doing and everything else. Y'all want him to come back. And then if he get killed and go to jail, you'll say, man, he's stupid. You know how I go in the hood.
Yeah,
Where,
so
where, where
you can't win for losing, goddamn it.
Yeah, you know how we do in the hood. It's always like, man, bro, why you did that, bro? That's stupid. Now you going to jail, bro. You lost it all, bro. You had it all. But when I wasn't doing that, y'all was saying I wasn't real. And keeping it real stuff. The
Yeah.
only problems I ever had when I was rapping was keeping it real. I'm living away from New Orleans, and they like, man, you ain't keep it real. You ain't come down and holler at us. And every time I came and went round the hood, it'd be the same ones I grew up with, and I'm walking in there, man, buying the ball and doing this and that, and then it's gonna take one of them. I'm just sitting around, we laughing. Now we used to joke all the time, joke with the same person. Say, bro, man, fuck all that Serv-On shit, nigga. I knew Corey, nigga. Nigga, don't play, nigga. Don't play. What was I, bitch? Now I got a man up. When this a nigga I grew up with, and I'm coming around y'all to show y'all, hey, bro, I appreciate y'all, man. Let's drink. Y'all need something, how y'all mama, whatever. And now it's like I got an issue with a nigga I grew up with. And then when I don't come around, they say I'm acting funny and I ain't keeping it real. And I'm a sellout. But if I come around, where most rappers lose their life at?
In their hometown.
There it is. There it is.
Or in in their hometown. But hey, I got it. Oh, I don't mean to change the subject on you. But I
Hey,
do have to ask you this question before I mess around and forget. Now, with your second album, The Next Level, going #1 and working with artists like Big Pun and hitting that major commercial highs, why did you change the way you was rapping? I've always wondered this because
that was the biggest
it
mistake
seemed
I
like you
ever
were
made.
louder on this one.
That was the biggest mistake I ever made. And I always say that.
What was it? What happened?
I'm gonna tell you, man, when I decided to just, and I always say this, I was such a big Mystical fan. That's my bro. I grew up with him. And I just wanted to be, I felt being more aggressive like that, you know what I'm saying? And and tongue twisting, because that's the way I learned how to rap. See, people never heard me before No Limit. I tongue twist. That's how I learned how to rap, like Bone Thugs.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying? And
gotcha.
so I got away from that when I got on, when I was doing life insurance. And then something told me just, I don't know, man, go back to that. And it was always been my biggest regret. It's always, man. It's
Gotcha.
always been like, you know, it was just, it was worst mistake of my life. Even though it went #1 and people really loved that album, it's not even my favorite album that I've ever done. You know what I'm saying?
Which
My
one is
my
your favorite
favorite.
album? Is
No More Questions. You ever heard it? It
that's
was
a
a jail
newer one,
thing.
isn't it?
I had it. No, that was like it was an album I did after I left Selecto with Q5 Riviera or whatever, and that was crazy because me and Fredro Starr uh also was on that label, and they gave me like 75,000 up front to do it, right? And it's crazy.
Ooh.
We put the album out. I go to Cali because they're not answering my phone call. I'm like, my album out today, right? You know what I mean? And after a week, it charted, right? I go to LA to go to the label office. I'm like, I'm going in there. Man, get there, man. They had something on the man, it was just closed. It was empty. And me and Fredro Snow we was going out to the House of Blues. And you remember the rapper 40 Glock?
Yeah, from Cali.
Yeah, he used to be in gang. Me, him, that's who I was around hanging in. And then later on I saw him in his game situation, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
but nah, man, I that's my favorite album I ever did. That's the first
Okay.
one I personally produced, like not doing the tracks, but oversaw the whole situation. Out of any album I ever done, up until the stuff y'all about to hear now, that was my favorite album I did. No More Questions.
Okay. Yeah, I always wondered that. I've always wondered that because I'm like, he
Yeah,
was
I messed up.
louder in this one, and I was like, why
I
did he
know I
change?
messed up, bro. I messed up big time. If I could get it back, man, I would so definitely do some things different, man, big time.
Well, I got you. Well, hey, I appreciate the contributions either way, but I did. Um, I don't like ending with, what's next. Because I feel like this platform is about documenting legacy. So when it's all
Yeah,
said and done and somebody finds this story years from now,
yeah.
what do you want them to understand about your contributions to the culture?
Ah, man, my contributions to me was I want them first to always remember my name, and I want them to listen to who I was and what I was, and to know the underdog can win. Because I always felt like I was an underdog. I was on a label, a huge label. I wasn't on the big commercial songs like Make 'Em Say and everything else, but people really fucked with me, dog.
Oh
The
yeah.
underground, they fucked with me hard, man. And I learned that when I was going on the first, tours and stuff. And I'm doing songs that I thought was my video songs that they wanted to hear, and then they looking at me like, no, this song, that song, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, why? I didn't know. And so I started realizing, like, man, people really fuck with you, dog. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt like I was the underdog. You know what I'm saying? And I just never gave up. And then I understood that team win. And I tell artists all the time, like the movements win. And if you're not, and the point I can prove is when you think of Juvenile, you think of who? Cash Money Millionaire.
Good. Yeah.
You think of DMX, who you think of?
Rough
Rough
Riders.
Riders.
Yeah.
You think of Pop or Snoop, Death
Death
Row,
Row. Yeah.
Master P,
No
No
Limit.
Limit Soldier. You feel what I'm saying? I can go on and on. The biggest, Biggie, Bad Boy.
Bad Boys. Yeah, I had to think about it. That's it.
No individual wins by itself. Movements win. And I wish people see that. Movements win. You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
so, and I knew I was part of one of the greatest independent movements ever, one of the greatest independent labels. I felt like we ushered, even though E40 taught, E40 and Obey and all them, JT, the bigger figure, and E40's uncle, you know what I'm saying, taught P the independent movement.
Yeah.
But I felt like we the one brought independent commercial to be independent. You know what I'm saying? And we made people say, you know what, I want all my money. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be doing independent. I'm gonna get better deals, independent deals, and stuff like that. So I felt like I was part of the greatest independence of rap, where rappers became independent, where it was okay to say, I'm staying independent. If I'm gonna come to your label, you're gonna break me off enough money, but I'm gonna remain independent. I'm gonna own my master stuff that people in old days, man, Smokey Robinsons and all them, they didn't own their masters. That's why it was so big. If you watch Ray Charles' movie and he said, I want my master.
Yeah.
That's
And he was
why
like,
people
he's
like
like, a lot of artists don't get that.
and people look at Michael Jackson and he's thinking of music and don't understand he died with ownership of 30% of Sony's masters, including the Beatles and Elvis Presley. 30% of Sony Music masters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was part of that independent, and Pete shouted that from the rooftops. Like, if 15% can't pay my rent, you know what I'm saying? I want the whole wop. You could do all of this and do that, but give me, I want to own my master. And I was a part of that movement that people say I want to be like Pete. People start. I feel like we made people start being businessmen, not just rappers. You know what I'm saying? Doing movies, having our own clothing, different products. Look at how many rappers got their own products and all that now. That come from Pete. You know what I'm saying? Rappers making money outside of rap. You get what I'm saying? Rappers that used
Yeah.
to say, man, y'all niggas business, man. Even some guys from CMR, our brothers at Cash Money, man, y'all business, man. We stunners. And I laugh with certain ones. I laugh with them all the time. They say, "Shut up, sir. Don't say nothing." Hey, nigga, you got businesses now. You a businessman now. Nigga, I see it. I get it. And I'm proud to say I was a part of waking up artists, of saying, nigga, I want to be independent. I want to own me a label. I don't want to just be a part of their label. You know what I'm saying? And I'm proud, and I want my legacy to know that I was a part of that, and you know what I'm saying, and that I cared, man. I cared about my people. I cared about my community. You know, so I just hope that because that's what I want. I want my grandkids to be able to look up and say my pop had #1 album in the world. He was #1 when you couldn't buy your spot. I replaced juggernauts at the top.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill. He knocked Lauryn Hill from the top spot.
I was #1 in the world, man. You can't ever take that back when the people say I'm #1. I could say that. You know what I'm saying? You can say what you want about my life. You can say what you want, but for 1 week, I was #1 in the world in all the music. So you can say what you want when some people say, "Oh man, he can't rap or whatever." Yeah, I was #1 though. You know what I'm saying? I was #1 in the world. You know what I'm saying? And hell, Eminem knew my name. Scarface know my name. LL know my name. You know what I mean? Shoot, Prince knew my name. These people that I witnessed knowing my name, knew me by my name, that'll go down in history forever. So you can't take that away from me.
Yeah.
You know, people say, well, all the albums, no, not all the limited albums went #1.
No.
You know, no. So
No.
you know, you can't take that from me, man. And my grandkids could always look up their pop and see, like, when they understand what #1 is, their pop was #1. So you know, that's gonna be, you know, and I want to know I help people, and I want my kids to see that. That's how I teach them. And you can't help everybody, but you know what? You know, God says, you know, be there, give help, pass the blessings on.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what I want my legacy to be, man. Somebody that cares, somebody to help and love the fuck out his people, bro.
Ooh,
I'm not a racist, bro. I'm not a racist. I don't. I judge people by Martin Luther King said the content of a man's character, not the color of his skin. But I tell you what, though, if I'm wrong, I love my fucking people, bro. I love my black people to man. I wouldn't hesitate to die for somebody black, man. It's not a problem. I done seen everything. That's why I tell my kids, don't put me in no positions because your father done seen everything. You name the car, your father had it. The house had it. Around the world, saw it. You know what I'm saying? Drink it, did it, done it. Whatever you could fucking name. I done seen it all. So don't put me in that position. But I'll gladly do it. I gladly with a blink of an eye, I did mine. You know, and then for my people right now, I just, you know, what people, older people say they would never see a black president. That's why so many old people cried when they saw Obama.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be old and cry when I'm watching not just my kids, my young people be in business with their names on buildings. You know what I'm saying? I want them. I don't want them. The first thing they got to do is turn to drugs and crime. You know, I want to sit back and cry and say, look at all these black businesses, man. Look. He not deciding to kill him. They deciding to talk it out. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and see families, man. I want to see black families with their kids in a home, a full home with mother and father and child. I want to see that, dog. I want to be able to go up a block and every house there's a family in it, not a broken home, man. These are things I want to see. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to see before I die somebody walking down the street and know that this black man don't have nothing to eat, and you go in there and grab him something to eat, or you don't have no shoes on, you give him yours. You know what I'm saying? And don't think twice. I want to see this before I die, bro. These are things that I want. You know, it's not about money and different things, man. I want to see my people just be great as they can be. You know, because we are so great, we just
Yeah.
don't realize it. Sometimes I think we're afraid to be great. That's why I live by a segment and for your people to see. And I tell people all the time, and I want people that's going to see this interview, never be afraid to be great. It's your right and it's your destiny. And I want my people to understand that. Never be afraid to be great. It is your right, it's your destiny. And if you smart and you intelligent, it's okay. It's cool. It's cool to be smart. It's cool to be a businessman. It's cool not to commit a crime. It's cool not to hurt another black man. You know what I'm saying? It's cool not to just do another black man. It's all right to be friends. You know, it's all right to say, man, I love you, my brother. You know what I'm saying? you know what? We're not gonna fight. We ain't gonna argue, man. Let's figure this out. You know, young lady, you're not a hoe. You're not a bitch. You're a queen. I respect you. Even if you don't want to be with me, no problem, lady. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody try to harm you, I don't have to know you, queen. I'm gonna protect you. You know, and I want to see that before I die, bro. That's that's for me. That's my thing. I want to sit back and watch peace and harmony amongst us. I want to see our villages protected by our young men like the warriors, like Africans did. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see us being the spectacle anymore. I don't want to see us being the clown. You understand what I'm saying? These are things that as I get older, you know what I'm saying, I just want to see, bro.
Yeah.
My kids, they on track to do what they doing. You know what I'm saying? But I want other people kids to see the same thing. I want my kids to go out there and help people. Cause you making it. Y'all gonna make it. Y'all gonna be all right. Your daddy did his job. But I want y'all to also turn and help other people get along the way. You know, that's why I appreciate people like you and other black guys that got y'all own black media.
Yeah.
Do y'all job, do what y'all gotta do, but also put that message out there. Just like you asked me these questions and I answered them correctly like I'm glad I did. Do the same thing, man. Cause y'all the media now. Y'all our own black media. CNN don't fuck with us unless we killing or murdering or fucking beating each other up or half naked. You get what I'm saying? Y'all are our media, my bro. You know, so that's all I want to see, man. I want to see us learn conflict resolution. And, you know, your first thought don't need to be to kill another black man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Be a man. If y'all upset, put your hands up like a man. Fuck all them guns and all that other shit. We was warriors and soldiers and men first.
Yeah, go get them boxing gloves.
Go get them, man. No limit. We had them.
I know that's what you said earlier. Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing, though, bro. But yeah, boy, what you about to say?
I was just gonna say, from Gutter Kane to Serv-On IT RAW, man, I really want to give you your flowers, bro. Your music played a big part of my life growing up in the 90s. A lot of stuff that you said on a lot of records, I was able to take those messages and actually apply them to my life.
I appreciate that, man.
And so I want to make sure that I'm keeping everything positive on this platform. And I want to make sure that people know the contributions that you've made to not only hip hop, but just the community works and the things that you have done, the business endeavors and stuff that you're putting out to help, young black males and females as well. And so I do want you to know, if you don't know anything else, at least for sure for me, I appreciate everything that you've done. Okay.
I appreciate it, man. I thank you, man. I appreciate it because that's great for me. Respect from my peers is more important than fear from my peers. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, man. We have to learn. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of times we got homies we say we love, but you don't tell them you love them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or we wait till they gone to give them their flowers and man, I miss you, bro. You was everything. Did you tell him that when he was alive? He might be still, he might.
Yeah.
And so I definitely appreciate that, man. And you keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't you? You build this platform as big as you can be, and promise me get it even bigger. Get you two young people or two, a male and a female, and put them under you. You know what I'm saying? Bring them up.
I can make that promise.
Not just expand your brand. Yeah, make that money while you're expanding it. You doing it the right way. Put some more out there so they could do it the right way. You know, we have to do that, man. Because guys like you done figured out the code. You created your career. Your path is you create your path. Nobody creating it, bro. And so you got to teach that and pass that on to somebody else to teach them how to create what you created. You worked hard. Now you can show them that, man, you ain't got to sell drugs. You ain't got to rob nobody. That's what I got. It's just hard work and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And promise me you're going to put one or two of them under you.
Oh, that's a promise. That's a promise. Yeah, because if it, like I said, if it wasn't for Court has helped me be where I'm at right now as far as the positivity and knowing that I don't have to, chase that to do anything, and stuff like that, and make any type of views off of people's pain.
And that young man, well, grown man now, I'm so proud of him because when he came around us, Court was a real one. You talking about a gangster for real? You could look at him and see how he probably wouldn't make it. He wouldn't be alive in a year or two. And to see him now and the family man he is and the businessman, that's proof right there. And he passed it on to you. He opened, you know what I'm saying? That's what No Limit was about anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all I'm saying. If somebody did it for you, you got a responsibility. We got to start holding people to that. And you hold your other peers to that.
Well, I do appreciate your time. You have no idea how much, my platform is always open to you. So anytime, you need me, to help promotion with anything you got going on or the key.
Man, I need to get him on a small interview, man.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Yeah, say less. I got you. Well, I want to give a big shout out to all my servers for tapping into another episode of Serv-On IT RAW. I hope y'all enjoyed the ride. I damn sure did. If you did, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and drop a comment below. Let us know what you think. You can always catch me on all your favorite streaming platforms. Go and check me out on OG Network. We'll be back next Wednesday with another 5 episode. Until then, I want everybody to enjoy their week and stay solid. I want to give a special thanks to Mr. Serv-On for his time. For real. I love you, brother, man. I appreciate everything that you've done, man, and tapping in with me so that we could, get this done. And like I said, I'm available to you. So all you gotta do is just let me know.
Still love you more, boy. I'm proud of you, man. Doing your thing, man. Call on me anytime. Always.
All right, peace.
I'm serving it raw. I'm serving it raw. I'm serving it raw.